Hello, everybody. We are back with a full cast. What do you got?
I have a Redbubble. My Etsy is on vacation mode
Oh,
for the rest of the month. Just so I can, I have a lot of personal stuff I gotta get to. So Etsy's gonna be on vacation mode for the rest of the month. Just because we got a lot of stuff coming up at work. Um, but you can check out my Redbubble. Hold on, let me get the link. Copy and paste. Um, you can check it out, KR Theater/shop on Redbubble. Go check it out. There's a bunch of cute, quirky designs.
yay!
That's
Uh,
it.
Sam, anything on your end?
No, I sent you last week.
Yeah, I
We're,
know.
we're, we're things aren't looking great. So I
Oh,
think the Sunday spot might be cursed, is
The
what
tr-
this comes down to.
the true big bad
Honestly.
of things
Also,
is
a personal announcement. It's my first week back teaching students, so I'm exhausted.
oh
Yeah.
no. Oh,
I
in
thought
person,
about
first
that.
week back teaching students in person, or
But no, I just
yeah,
for the
just
year. It's
oh, okay, cool.
first week of the school year. Yeah. No, I came back like 2 years ago or something like that.
Oh, okay. Right on. That's awesome.
Yay.
Well, happy first week of school.
Thank you. Very tired.
Mm-hmm.
speaking of tired. You all arrived at a carnival the last we left off, known as the Witchlight Carnival in the Feywild, as a means to semi-relax after the creep stole Hopper's bag of holding and the lumen spire that was inside of it. And upon entry, and then they teleported away, so there's no creep anymore. And upon entry, we're met with a treant handing out seeds that opened into gifts and offered dandelions for everyone to blow out and make a wish. Pushed towards the feasting orchard region of the carnival, intent on eating before enjoying the festivities. You pass by Calliope being played by a talking monkey in a suit and his goblin companion dressed like a ladybug. A couple of you gave the goblin buttons, danced with the goblin, before arriving in the feasting orchard just in time for a cupcake eating contest. It was gratuitous, disgusting, with how many cupcakes were eaten in a minute, with Vonkar winning said competition by eating 100 cupcakes in 1 minute. He was awarded with another cupcake that doubles as a potion of invisibility. After the competition, you saw the familiar form of Grundle, Anti-Gothel's Jester Satyr, sitting in a nearby pear tree, and performed a rhyme about how to find the Fey crossing hidden in the carnival, hidden somewhere within the Hall of Illusions. Made your way in that direction, with Antyr and Doe riding the Dragonfly ride that kind of just circles the carnival, and while the remainder of the party visited the Mystery Mines after overhearing a child say the ride makes wishes come true. Doe and Antyr calmed down a rampaging dragonfly during the ride, which seemed to lift the carnival's mood slightly, while the other group rode the Mystery Mine ride, zooming through the ride in a minecart, witnessing visions of creatures that frightened each of them, before the ride ended with wishes being manifested for those that were there. Yep. Some of the wishes were strange, some fizzled out of existence due to missing people, and one caused Grin to vanish and appear in a strange manner in the middle of a garden in the Feywild. Grin recognized it as Papa's home, the Rose Court, and saw that its denizens were all turned to stone, including Papa himself. Grin saw movement in an upstairs window, and found Duskreeper Aelinor prowling through the manor, clearly looking for something, and eventually stumbling across a secret room behind an illusory wall that seemed to have archways with names written on them. Aelinor passed through an archway that said Ashheart. Grin didn't follow, and was instead interrupted by a Boggle, having hidden away during the attack on the court. The Boggle mentioned that Aelinor had attempted to recruit the Archmaw into the Unseelie Court, as the Archmaw's activities and way of life are kind of aligned with how the Unseelie Court deal with people and mess about. After many refusals and frustration with the Archmaw, Aelinor turned him and the denizens of the Rose Court to stone. And then possibly hung out for a bit, learning things while everyone was stoned. The Boggle also mentioned that Duskreeper was looking for something that was stolen from him, a map of ley line convergence points that is currently in Vonkar's possession. The Boggle mentioned that the Archmaw was aware of certain things brewing and coming to fruition, most notably the creep having escaped and stolen something, because time is weird in the Feywild. So for the Rose Court, that happened a few weeks ago, even though it had only just happened to y'all. Because of this, the Archmaw left a sword behind that would help make Grin stronger and awaken some latent abilities, perhaps. Grin trained with this new sword for 45 days or so, returned to the material plane with more information regarding their predicament, and because time's weird and it's too confusing, only a few minutes had passed for the others. The carnival culminated with you all heading to the Hall of Illusions, where you saw illusory reflections of your lives, both young and old, before stepping through a mirror and arriving in a cluttered attic somewhere in the City of Embers, with the voice of an old man calling from below and the sound of someone walking up the stairs. So yeah, you all spill out of this mirror onto the floor, then the mirror cracks behind you so the fake crossing is closed. You can hear these shuffling footsteps climbing the stairs up to the attic, and the voice of an elderly man calls out as he's coming up. Hello? Who's in my attic?
Grin goes invisible.
Okay. You each got like 6 seconds to do something if you want.
Is there anything hanging on the walls?
Like really dusty paintings.
Doe's going to run towards the wall, jump, and use object form to stick on the wall as another dusty-ass painting.
Okay, so a doe-sized painting is on the wall.
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
What's the painting of?
Yeah.
It's too dusty, you can't tell. It's just blending in.
Perfect. Anybody else doing anything? You hear an old man shuffling his way slowly up the stairs.
Vonkar is going and standing like directly in front of the door.
Oh, there is no door. It's just stairs that come up into the attic.
Oh, okay. Then just in front of at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Just hands on hips, just right there, not hiding.
Sure.
Ready to say hello.
Anybody else got anything for me?
I'm going to attempt to hide behind my shield.
No.
Oh,
That's not.
Attempt.
Hiding behind your shield.
I'm very small.
Oh,
and
like
I have
you're
disadvantage already.
you're propping like you're like gonna prop the shield up on something and then scurry behind it.
Yeah.
It is a cluttered attic. You could get behind literally anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna hide behind something.
There's like couches, there's like
going-
dusty couches and whatnot. So go for it. Stealth check for Hopper.
Cool. Yeah.
DC 8.
Cool. Love it. I have disadvantage. Okay. That's a 10.
You hope you're hidden in the attic.
Yeah.
And then for torture.
I'm going to throw the cape that I already have around me, the little mantle that
Yeah.
has a. I'm going to throw that around my face and just have my eyes open and then slink back into the shadows and try and hide.
All right. Go for it. Stealth check.
Stealth check, stealth check, stealth check. Boom, boom. It is a 14.
Okay. You also
Trying not to
you
cough,
also
if I cough,
gain
there's a
you also
cloud
gain
dust.
temporary you gain temporary 4 temporary hit points because you're in absolute darkness.
Ooh. Oh. Alright, I will.
Antyr, you doing
What?
anything fun?
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, Antyr's gonna like kind of like shrink down behind Vonkar and it's gonna cast starlights. So this like ethereal silver bluish light kind of halos behind like backlights Vonkar.
Okay.
So yeah,
Perfect.
Antyr's gonna make like the humanoid form that but kind of outlining Vonkar, so it's like Vonkar's is shadowy with a bright light coming from behind it. Antyr's just gonna try to keep quiet.
Okay. Leek's gonna wild shape into a small little rat. And then scurry. Alright. Vonkar. An incredibly old human man approaches you from up the stairs. He's hunched over from a nearly curved spine. A long mane of extremely thin, nearly translucent white hair. His eyes are yellowed, nearly blind, super sunken in because he's so old. covered in liver spots, and when he speaks, you see he only has two very loose bottom teeth. He's wearing a sort of old-looking, moth-eaten old man nightwear, like a nightgown, complete with a little nightcap with a little fuzzy puffball, and is holding a weathered and rusted lantern. And he raises it and sees you. Oh, what are you doing in my home? There's a curfew right now. I might have to...
Hey there, young man. Sorry, I got a little confused and lost and wandered in here, I guess. This isn't my home.
There's a pause before the old man kind of melts away, revealing a burly Duergar with a thick mustache that is braided at the ends, with a recently shaved head and chin, wearing a pair of yellow, triangular tinted glasses, and a turquoise-colored tunic. Oh, apologies for the illusion. We're slightly on edge after the attack. You must be the ones that just broke through the mythal.
One's plural. I don't just me here.
You can clearly see the elf behind you.
Antyr
wow,
didn't
look
do
at
anything.
that. I thought you had it. Well, two of us.
And you can see they're like scanning, and they scan the attic. They're also adjusting their glasses and looking around. Well, there's something invisible flying around, and then points to one of the paintings.
All right, everybody, come on out.
Yes, but you didn't seize me. And then like dust off of a thing.
Okay, you all see this Duergar. Yes, you all must have just broken through the mythal, which is strange. Should not be possible. How did you get here? How did you get through the mythal?
Well, we made it back from, we went to a carnival, and he, like, you see him, like, mid-sentence just kind of becomes visible. And then we found, like, a room full of mirrors, and we passed through a mirror thing, I think. And then, we ended up here. Where are we?
You're in the City of Embers.
Wait, wasn't that place, like... Wasn't that... Didn't that get razed to the ground?
No, there was an attack on the eastern side of the city, but it was repelled, and a force field was thrown up that incinerated and disintegrated any interlopers within the city limits. But
So the citizens aren't being... Their minds are their own?
Oh no, the lay guardians are here and they're fixing it. They're sort of restoring people. Speaking of which, you did break through the mythal, which isn't supposed to happen. I'm gonna have to take you to the leader of my organization just for a quick little chat. And then you're free to do whatever you please.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are the ones that are helping clean up after those assholes, then yeah, I mean, I feel good about this.
My leader might also want to know how you actually specifically got through the mythal, because it's not possible. Follow me. It won't take much time. That's all.
Alright, what's your name again?
Thramarn. Of the Ley Guardians. We guard the ley lines and protect the weave.
Isn't that with that Bashan person?
Yes, that's our leader. This way, please. And they go down the stairs.
Did this Thramarn notice Hopper because he did not reveal himself?
No.
I'm gonna stay behind.
You're staying in the attic?
I'm gonna stay behind until like it seems like they're a floor down, and then
Oh,
I'm gonna slowly
okay.
creep down behind them.
Sure.
I'm gonna follow at a distance. I'm gonna try to pull a Grin without being nearly as skilled at this as Grin.
Okay, make another stealth check.
At disadvantage.
Yep. It's a 12.
12. Okay. They don't seem to notice. They just keep
Oh.
walking down the stairs, waiting for everybody to follow. So what are your names? I'm Thramon.
Vonkar. My name is Vonkar.
He kind of pauses and turns to you. I've heard of you before.
Oh, have you?
Yes. Oh, this is very interesting. Looks at Torger. What's your name?
My name is Torger.
Oh, I have not heard of you, but I've heard of you. Looking at Vonkar. Anyways, this way.
Good things, I hope.
I'm also known as Bloodfist.
Does not ring a bell. Oh, this is so curious. Vonkar,
Mm-hmm.
where are you from?
Oh, well, you know, all over. I've been around for quite a while, but most recently, most of my family is, well, over in, words, the Silver, is that where I said it?
Yes.
Yeah, most of my family is over in Silver.
Oh, then what I've heard may not
That's
be
where I've
correct.
been living lately.
Oh, lately. Where were you born?
Oh, well,
I feel like the stories I might have heard might be
the
false.
Underdark.
Okay, figured.
Oh, really? What stories have you heard?
Well, where I'm from, it's very rare for people to leave the settlement and the hive of tunnels that surround it. The only one my parents were aware of that left was someone called Vonkar. So they decided that they could try leaving as well and seeing what the above world had to offer. This is very interesting. You might be the same one, or you might not be. Is it a common name, Vonkar?
I think I'm the only Vonkar I've met, but I don't know.
Oh.
Wait, where did you say you was from?
Well, my parents are from Dvergfell. But I was born, on the surface. So I've only heard stories of where my parents are from.
Russelheim? Did I write that wrong? Hold on. Give me a second. No, never mind. I'll get back to you.
Okay. My parents were from a settlement in the lower dark called Dvergfell. It's sort of built on a lake of ice.
Yeah,
They bury people under the ice. There's monsters under the ice, frozen.
yeah.
That's where my family's from. They escaped during something called the March of the Umber Hulks, and that's all I know.
Well, you was talking about the contest to see who'd be the next person to be able to leave. Yeah, I won that.
Oh, you're from there?
Yeah.
This is very interesting.
Wait, who's? Are you Benny's kid?
No, my parents left a long time ago.
You Hofstad's kid?
These names I don't recognize. I've always been curious about going to see where my family came from, but the stories about a being called Manascoter kind of terrified me too much to go check it out. This big spider face man who roams the hives.
But maybe this will help. What are your parents' names?
Are they
Grin's
Sven's?
just like,
Sven's kids?
Balon and Malon. They left Vergafell, 150 years ago? Something like that.
Regan? Are you Regan's kid? You look
No.
kind of like Regan. No? Okay.
And they start leading you through the city of Ember streets. You can see people. Most of the city's fine, but the eastern portion of the city where the wall went down, that's a little bit rough. But yeah, there's this big shimmering green kind of force field encompassing the entirety of the city. And it's late at night, and it's about 9 o'clock. You can see nearby clock tower. It says 9 p.m. And this Duergar, Thramarn, or whatever I said his name was, is leading you in a northward direction to like the north edge of the city. Again, sorry, it's just we're a little on edge everywhere here in the city. We're just trying to figure things out, make sure the security is intact and not breaking at the seams in places.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're a little bit on edge too, because, you know, this whole place was kind of
Question.
being attacked when we were last here.
Where did we leave Arthur and Terry?
Anti-Gothels.
They're okay, great.
Also, I don't know where Cornelius is, and that's fun.
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh,
he was.
the donkey.
He was
Oh,
inside.
right.
He's inside the little disc.
Sure, fine. Yeah, he's
Plane
safe. He's
thing?
safe, tucked away in there. Because it's hard. Sometimes you forget where
dragonfly.
sometimes you forget where your mounts are and
Mhm.
your party pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the city was attacked, but our leader, Guardian Pashan, threw a missile up and kind of disintegrated so many of the would-be assailants.
Could you, what is a mythal?
It's like a magical arcane barrier that permits entry for specific beings. For example, say you weren't permitted in the city and you tried entering the city through the barrier, it would turn you to dust. Dead. They're very, very powerful forms of protective magic. The strongest.
Is there any way that you can tell if something is a mythal or has a mythal on it?
It would require ways of detection of magic. Usually, touching a mythal and if you're not permitted to touch it, would be instantaneous demise.
I mean, that's why I'm asking.
Probably not, unless you can find. Most likely, there might be warnings about dust at the edges.
Or dust at the edges? Alright,
Of
alright.
people who've tried to enter, but to cast an Identify
Ah.
spell, you have to touch the source of the spell, so casting Identify on a mythal generally doesn't work. Because you dust. And Detect Magic only reveals the school of magic, not the actual spell.
But you can actually see a barrier.
Yeah, it would be a visible barrier, unless
Okay,
the
okay.
people in question wanted to make it invisible, which would be very mean.
Yeah, very mean.
Is it still above us?
You can see this translucent green dome that encompasses the entirety of the city.
Well, it has only been like.
I think the only beings that aren't permitted inside the city right now are creatures of unseelie origin. So unseelie fey creatures can't enter the city.
Grin's kind of just like he doesn't know where he fits in on that.
You're still in one piece.
Well, but we also bypassed it, so.
And he leads you, just continues to wind through the streets. You can see people just like trying to get accustomed, but yeah, it's only the eastern portions of the city that were totally a little bit messed up, and you can see over in that area while you're walking, there's just like magic, like lifting stones up and putting stones back. You do see members of the Quartz Armada, the guards, the mage guards, who are mind wiped. Some of them are still wandering about, and then you can see members of the Lay Guardians matching the outfit that this Duergar is wearing, also helping with like security and patrols and whatnot.
I think I might have missed it. What does the armor look like
The who?
for the Lay Guardians? What does their armor look
They're not.
like?
They don't wear armor. They just wear like turquoise high neck tunics with just these weird turquoise tunics with blue cloaks. The Quartz Armada, which is the city's mage guards, wear purple hooded robes that are sleeveless.
Turquoise tunics for Lay Guardians.
Um, and eventually you're brought to this colossal university building that rests gently on the ground and formed from this dark slate gray crystal with 8 spinning conical towers that float high above the ground and move in a diamond-shaped pattern over the university. Just these rotating towers. And people of all sorts roam the university grounds, reading books, laughing, practicing all sorts of magic and other subjects. Antyr would recognize the garb of the Lay Guardians because of you did the potion of whatever the hell and saw them getting killed in the mines, so you know that's what they wear. He kind of leads you through the grounds of the school. You can see a kid, like a young student, trying to cast like a control flame spell, but it keeps fizzling out. And when he does get it, and so he accidentally like sets his hair. He sets like his hair on fire, and he's like, "Oh!" and pats it out real quick, and then goes back to practicing. You're led into these wide open dark stone corridors in the university itself, covered in murals of various points in history. A couple of gnomes hoisted up by ropes are in the process of painting a mural depicting this type of underwater panopticon surrounded by a raging whirlpool, where some individuals are fighting a green tiefling spider hybrid entity covered in eyeballs, while the sky is consumed by inky darkness and eyes. You see the final fight of last campaign being painted as a mural. Just painting Ven as a weird dude. Roaming the corridors of this university building are more students and commoners alike. A large rolling gold sphere covered in spinning, hovering cog wheels rolls past. Just oh, watch out for those. Those can kill. And he just keeps the Duergar just says, and then just keeps leading you through. You're brought to.
Is there? I hope if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Based on some of this stuff happening, Grin would kind of approach Vonkar.
Okay.
And be like, "So, so these guys are calling themselves the Lay Guardians, and we kind of have like a map to the ley lines of the area. Is this like, we know that this is something that bad guys are getting at, but, you know, maybe we should, I don't know. Since we're a little out of our depth, we might want to leave it with these people. But I'm not saying we do. I'm just saying maybe we feel around a bit. Make sure that this would be a good place to put it."
I mean, that's not a bad idea, certainly. Well, at least doesn't sound like one to me. So, I think we should definitely carry them out and consider it.
All right. Anyway, that's it.
And you can see when this Duergar is like leading you guys through doors, he holds the doors open when you go into a new area. And even though he hasn't spotted Hopper or acknowledged Hopper, it seems like he's waiting for this figure, another figure, after you all pass through, clearly waiting for Hopper, but not acknowledging Hopper to allow Hopper to believe that they are still hidden, and then pushes forward. You're brought to a solid stone door covered in arcane sigils, which the door parts as you're all brought towards it, and led up a winding spiral staircase. Passing by the windows of this tower, you realize you're now in one of those floating towers that are floating around the top of the university. About 100 or so feet off the ground, passed by numerous doors that look like they're marked as offices. There's random names on them. And eventually get to the very top of the tower, and the door opens, and you're led inside into a spacious chamber, cluttered with a variety of crates filled with all manner of trinkets and strange objects. Perusing through the objects and digging around is this non-binary human-like figure with pale skin, freckles, short brown hair that comes to just below their ears, and a lush, short brown beard. They're wearing a sort of turquoise and sky blue tunic with a blue cloak, while a staff made of solid blue crystal leans up against the heavily cluttered desk in the room. This is the figure you all saw riding the young silver dragon that the Jabberwock and Duskreaper Aelinor gave chase to. On the major walls of the room, you can see parchment and maps pinned to the wall with bits of red string all over the place, like the Always Sunny meme. You can make out a few words that say Grand Restoration, Leyline Convergences, Soulspire Academy, and then The Moon.
I think they call that a murder board.
Guardian Pishan, I have them. The figure kind of turns. Thank you very much, Thermarn. Can you please speak with Foreman Asau? I'm curious how the remainder of the shipments went. And the Duergar nods. It was good meeting you all. I would love to talk more about Dvergafell with you sometime, Torger, if that's alright. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice meeting you all. And the Duergar leaves. And then Guardian Pishan faces all of you. They're in their late 20s or early 30s. Their skin is covered in dimly glowing blue veins, like their veins are just glowing. Their left hand, however, is heavily wrinkled, as if it has aged far quicker than the rest of their body. Welcome. I got a little ping that y'all broke through the Mythal, and well, they kind of look at you all and kind of register something, and you can see that in their eyes that they register something. You're the ones that Aelinor was chasing. That's interesting. Would like to know about that. I'm Guardian Pashan, leader of the Ley Guardians. You all are... And they stare at Antyr a little bit as well.
Antyr is Xiloscient, time steward.
You're
of the Astral
definitely...
Plane.
Yeah, you're definitely familiar.
Oh,
You're holed up in one of my order's towers, aren't you? Glacial Pass, I believe.
oh, that's yours.
My orders, yeah. It's been abandoned for some time, but I did get
Well,
a
not
little
for the
bit of...
last few years.
Yeah, I did get a little bit of a notification-ish. A few, that there's someone just living there.
That's me.
Well,
The fireplace is exquisite.
Yes. Well, but yeah, who are all of you, if you don't mind? I know
I'm Grin.
Grin? Nice to meet you, Grin.
Oh, wait, but hold on. So you were the one on the... Okay. Did you happen to kill that guy in the Jabberwock thing?
No, not at all.
How'd that go?
I tried luring them back to the city, hoping that the Mythal would disintegrate them both, but he is a little more smarter than anticipated. He plane shifted away once the Mythal went up. Kind of left his people to die, I guess.
He's probably smart enough. He's probably one of those guys that like kicks dirts before they hit anything. You know, when you just throw dirts in front of you just to make sure there's no invisible monsters.
Well, he has been a thorn in our side for quite some time now, so...
What does it take to actually put up a Mythal?
Capabilities beyond most, powerful magics, 9th level spells, powerful vitality, knowledge of ancient rituals that are kept safe by certain organizations out there. That
So who put it up?
I did with the help of some of my higher ups.
Okay. So I'm just curious, because that sounds really nice. Probably would have helped my papa.
Well, it's useful in times of need, but generally they are generally frowned upon due to their destructive capabilities as well. But times call for certain measures. But yeah, again, who are all of you, by the way? Grin, Antyr.
Oh, I'm Torger.
Nice to meet you.
Otrson.
They look at...
Hi.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm Vonkar.
Nice to meet you. They look at Doe. I've seen your kind before. This is highly interesting. Nice to meet you. Your name is...
You have? Doe. You could see Doe just kind of like, you know, like you smell something and like they salivate.
Yeah.
Just a couple of extra drops. and they're just gonna lick that back in because they're just like, they said what now kind of thing.
Unfortunately, you're the only living one I've seen.
Oh.
My friends and I saw a bunch of them, a bunch of your kind, as some sort of guards of a place that we fought in before, and it's just, yeah. But it's good to meet you. It's good to meet you, Vonkar, Torger. They look at Hopper.
I'm invisible.
he says nothing. He's just crouching behind his shield, and then you see two little rabbit ears kind of flop up, and he pokes his head out. And then he stands up really straight, and then, like, fixes his armor and his cloak. Bonjour. I am Sir Hopper Thimblefoot, Chevalier de Grand Event.
It's nice to meet you. So yeah, why was Duskreeper Eleanor chasing y'all? I do recall seeing y'all on a flying contraption a few days yesterday. Yeah, earlier today. Time's weird, sorry, I've been really busy. Why was he chasing y'all? He generally has only been pestering my order and the people I'm working with, so what gave him reason to chase y'all? How did y'all aggrieve him in some way?
Does this person seem trustworthy?
Insight check.
Yeah.
Coming from their former player.
Insight check yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. Insight.
You're trying to tell me what your roll
15.
isn't bad?
I rolled on my new dice.
I mean,
15.
out of the fair amount of people you've met so far in your travels and this weird sort of adventure you've gone on, they're probably one of the most trustworthy.
Noted. Well, it is a little hard to explain. It is a very long story.
Vonkar and I found a crystal, and they want it.
Guardian Pashan's attention goes right to Grin. Wait. Where did you get that crystal? Where'd you find it? It's just out of curiosity, because if it's the crystal I'm thinking of, do y'all know what the Lumen Spire is?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the crystal y'all found?
Yeah,
Yes.
but stupid jerk-offs creeps went and stole it from us.
Wait,
Dumb.
it's not in your wrong voice. It's not in your possession anymore.
Nah, the
No,
clue got
like
it.
I said, he stole it like a
Oh.
dumb jerk-off.
That's
Hopper
bad.
just has like.
We have an
Arthur
idea,
Biscuit.
though. We have an idea of who the creep is acting as a.
All right.
What is the word? A fetch, a guard
Chamberlain?
dog, a retriever, something like that. We have an idea of who that could be.
All right, and who might that be?
Groused.
Yes.
Oh, the demon.
Yes.
One of the demon princes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The one who's off and on, has relations with the Unseelie Court. Okay, that's not good. That's bad. All right. Okay, I feel like we can be allies here. You're all trustworthy, somewhat. Feel like you're familiar, looking at Grin, but I can't recall if I'm thinking of the right group. That's DM speaking out loud.
Right, yeah.
Um,
That was tricky because we did split.
Yeah,
things
I don't
up a
remember,
bit.
but whatever. Alright. The Lumen Spire, since you have it, you know that it's being sought after by people, of course. My order, we're looking at... I have contacts with the Seelie Court right now. I'm allied with the Seelie Court. We've been talking for quite some time. Lord Oberon of the Seelie Court was supposed to bring the Illuminspire here to me, and we were going to sequester it away somewhere to be used during a common event that was happening. That's beginning to happen.
A common event?
Yeah, unfortunately, it never arrived. My order and I combed the Whisper's crash site and never found it. Clearly, you all had taken it from the crash site or before. So it's bad that it's in not so good hands.
If I may backtrack a little bit, I don't know if you heard, but my Lord Oberon, he is, as you say, kaput. No more. He is with the god above.
Well, that's the thing. I'm aware. My condolences, of course. If he was killed by Dusk Reaper Aelinor and Aelinor's allies, there is no being with the god above. The weapons they use kind of sever the soul and prevent resurrection. So he's gone. Unfortunately. But we were seeking the crystal to sort of utilize it during the Grand Restoration and prevent more destruction than what will occur, essentially. It's kind of my fault and my friend's fault for why the Grand Restoration is happening, I think I've discovered the last few years. So I'm kind of trying to clean up a mess that we all started 6 years ago and then kind of promptly disbanded. So it's been myself for quite some time, and occasionally one of the ones of my friends that I'm closest to has been helping me out occasionally, but other than that, I kind of don't talk to the others. Haven't for some time now. Sort of need to keep this as close to the chest as possible lately. Oh, to prevent leaks and whatnot.
It just looks at
Not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks at the
Vonkar
rat.
just whispers that to Leek. Not you.
Leek looks.
The A kid.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, what do you all know, then? Also, how did y'all get through the Mythal in the first place?
Near tied to the Feywild.
Interesting. So all right. You can see they walk over to the crystal staff and pick it up, and they kind of speak into it. But when they speak, no words come out of their mouth, but they're still talking. And they set the staff back down. All right. I'm gonna have some of the lay guardians and Quartz Armada patrol the city and look for any hidden doorways to the Feywild, just to be safe. Good to know. I may be able to find the location of your crystal, or the Lumenspire. I'm sure you're all aware that it's sentient.
Yeah, but like, honestly, this is like way beyond us. Like,
Oh,
I don't know if you saw
Oh.
what the creep turned into, but that is nuts.
Oh, I have no intention of-
We are not.
I have no intention of asking you all to go after them. That'll be a thing that I send more capable people of doing, from what I gather.
Yeah, thanks.
I need allies, and I could use a favor from y'all, actually, while I try to figure out where your crystal went, or where the crystal went. I could use some help. I'll pay if I have to. I used to be an adventurer. I know that money talks. And technically,
we're under contract with
and
another
looks
person.
at Antyr. Technically, since you've been holed up in my tower for some time, you're kind of under my employment.
I guess it would be like a squatter situation, sure. It was fairly a bit. You're right. Okay, well, grounds to cover. We have we have a task that we are trying to do for Hopper's sake, if I'm not mistaken. We have an
Yes, I am
employer.
sworn to avenge my king Otrson
Yeah,
and kill this
forgot to
dust
mention
creeper Eleanor.
forgot to mention in the recap. Hopper's wish was to find a way to kill Dust Reaper Eleanor, and in the Mystery Mine, Hopper saw a vision of a stained glass sword at the bottom of a lake. Well,
We have a person that we are currently employed with, who we actually have a binding contract with. I'm not saying that we wouldn't be willing to assist, because at this point, I feel like it is a bit of all of our faults that the Lumenspire crystal isn't in safe and capable hands.
It's all right. You can point the finger. I know where it's supposed to go. Right.
It's
there.
not just
This guy.
you. We all hold responsibility. I think the weight falls on more than just you. It's not. Yeah. No. But we are a group. We are. There's this level of responsibility that we take for each other at this point, I think.
well, before y'all get too invested in things, what do y'all know? Have you all heard about the Grand Restoration so far? What do y'all know about it? I don't want to reveal anything and make people have, like, panic attacks.
No, there was a prophecy
Yeah,
with different
yeah. So
pieces that fell into place.
my order has been tracking it for some time, and the prophecies surrounding it for generations. It became my burden 6 years ago when I took over the Lay Guardians. The kind of all that knowledge was then came to me, so people could work behind the shadows to try to prevent things from happening. Because if more people found out, then it would be widespread panic, and widespread panic is never good.
No, I think I might be a little confused, because based on, immediate history, the ley lines haven't been like on this in this realm for very long.
No, but my order still existed, doing things behind the scenes. Just because the ley lines were gone didn't mean they were gone either. They were trying to restore the ley lines the entire time. But from what
wait, so they were there before?
yeah, my mentor was sort of like this illusory spirit in the tower for some time, and he was working with people kind of to keep things going behind the scenes. There's towers where the remaining Lay Guardians were on the various continents working for their continents, and then when I took over, I kind of brought things back into focus and kind of tried to unite things a little more.
Maybe it's because I'm new, but is this like public knowledge?
No, and it's not going to be.
Oh, okay.
That's what we got to keep at least for right now, while the Unseelie Court are roaming about looking for ley line convergence points. We need to keep the ley lines and their intrigue and mysteries as close to the chest as possible. Any knowledge of where the ley lines are and where they converge is bad in the wrong hands. You can
do you know where they are now?
I've been looking for a map for some time to kind of keep it sequestered away and safe, and to also go to these convergence points and sort of try to slow down the Grand Restoration as quickly as possible, because the Grand Restoration essentially began with the Ley Lines awakening 6 years ago. Once the majority of these ley lines have awakened and converged again, they will bring about a lasting, permanent change to the world. The moon is tied to it in some way as well, which is wonderful. I thought my friends and I had dealt with that moon already, but it seems it still has a part to play in things to come. But we're just trying to figure out the convergence points, do what we can to try to tame the ley lines because they're getting wildly erratic. It's what these magical occurrences that have been going around for the last 6 years. They're tied to the ley lines waking up.
Vonkar,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to do anything without getting a nod from everybody. But are we thinking? Yep, yeah. Just looking around, making eye contact real quick with.
Grin would like to make sure that there's no illusion oriented stuff associated with this person in front of us.
Okay. Do you have a way of discerning?
Like
Do you have a way of discerning what's an illusion and what's not?
Poking them.
Okay, you poke them, and their
Cool.
their skin.
And I'll
Actually,
do
really
a
quick.
heart sense. Oh,
I was
sorry.
well, actually, I was going to say related to that. Would you mind really quick giving my little friend here a handshake?
Yeah, all right. Gives Grin a handshake.
Ah.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So I believe it's their current emotional state, and then they make a charisma saving throw.
Stressed.
Cool. Charisma
Yep.
saving throw.
What kind of stress? Like overwork stressed, or like I'm going to be found out stressed?
Overwork, and also, oh fuck, the thing we need is in the worst hands possible.
Okay.
Charisma saving throw with advantage is a 16.
Okay. So I don't know that. I don't know their alignment.
Nope.
Oh. Grin does like a mixed vibe check
Beca-
on that one.
Kind of became
so,
true neutral evil during the last 6 years.
Can you just turn into a big giant rock jerk anytime?
What are you talking about?
We just recently had an encounter with a big giant rock jerk.
Oh. Nope, that's not my forte.
Vonkar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we just got we kind of got a hot potato here.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I was gonna reach into the bag and pull out the map.
All right.
And hand it over to them.
It's like this old piece of parchment that's written in blood, and it's the world with all the ley lines drawn out on the map with convergence points. And they look at it. Oh, well, this is... Where'd you find this?
Oh, in a weird Feywild tower that kind of took over the swamp to the south. Is it southeast? Is that the direction it was?
Northwest.
Yeah,
It was eastward.
Well, it was
Northwest, the exact opposite of
where we
what I
found
said.
Oberon. Yeah. it was near the place where we found Oberon's head.
Right. Alright. I can see where some of the ley lines converge. There are convergence points near here. There is one below the city, which we've theorized for some time. Oh, look at this, Antyr. There's a convergence point where your tower is. Isn't that fun?
Was Antyr's magic ever weird while there?
If you want it to be, but probably.
Okay.
There's weird stuff in that tower that I'm sure you're aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more convergence points than I thought. Have y'all came across a convergence point yet? If you don't know, I mean, fair. It's hard to tell, but
We have a map, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at the map. Have we been to one?
well,
Antyr's gonna point at where the spore or the fungal jungle was.
No, there isn't one there.
Oh, I thought that was.
Oh yeah,
one.
there was one. Yeah, that's right, because it broke through
Because the
convergence
tower
point,
was
that's right.
built. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one in where that jungle used to be, which is now just a body of water.
So this jungle isn't here anymore. It's no longer anchored here. They were, you might need this. And Antyr's gonna pull out of their pack. It's gonna pull out the schematics book and the portfolio of Architect Castigar of the Sorrow Gloom. Gonna pull out all the books that they acquired from the desk before they fucking blew up.
Castigar. I've heard that name before. Okay, that's interesting.
They were working on the Sanguine Orbis or something of that nature. It was a means of anchoring portions of the Fae, I'm imagining, to the material plane. It succeeded, but we ruptured it and it is no longer here, and we acquired nothing from there that was majorly important.
Alright.
I mean, other than the information that it was a machine powered by blood, which was weird.
Alright, so they might be using these convergence points to try to pull the Feywild into the material plane, like we've been suspecting a little bit after some things we've discovered as well. Your jungle isn't the only place from the Feywild that's been pulled through. We've sent a few back ourselves, but it was a little more harrowing from what I can tell, because y'all are intact, it looks like.
Was not fun. Oh yes, it's called the Orbis Ancora.
Noted. Alright.
Take that off.
My order and they kind of point to the map where the Soulspire Academy is on Undeal. We've been investigating a leyland convergence point beneath the Soulspire Academy, and we believe it's tied very closely to the Grand Restoration. I tried getting permission to go beneath the Soulspire Academy from a friend I have there, but can't get such permission. How do y'all feel about breaking into the Soulspire Academy and checking out that convergence point for me? Well, not breaking into the Academy, breaking into the Academy's undercroft. You don't have to do it right now. I still have to contact my friend from there and set something up. It'd be in the morning, so you could get some rest and do what you need to do before.
Wait, how many days travel is that?
Oh, it's going to be instantaneous. I can send you through a tree.
Oh, you don't see that every day.
No.
It's the best way to be discreet about it.
Well, so we're gonna go in through a tree and come out through a route underground?
No, you're going to come out through another
Undercroft?
tree. No, you're going to come through another tree at the Academy in my friend's office, and he's going to help you get into the undercroft without getting detected, hopefully.
Alright.
Yeah, it's like she don't even knows about trees. Like the trunks don't always connect to the roots. Jeez, come on.
Nothing.
Well?
Nothing. Torger.
What
What a nice looking helmet you have, Torger. You are wearing it very nicely. No. Trying to.
It's on the side.
No.
Yeah, I haven't put
Yeah,
it on.
you are wearing it very nicely on your hip. It looks very good.
But yeah, if y'all are interested, the help would be appreciated. Plus, we'll say it's penance for losing the Lumen Spire, perhaps.
But so we're doing this for free?
I mean, I can probably scoop something up for you, but
I mean, like,
it does
Well,
seem like it was in your possession when it got
how
lost,
much,
though.
how much money do you guys have? Because I don't have anything to. I don't have any money to eat.
Oh, I can pay for you. That's just fine.
And Leek
Well-
cooks for us. We don't need
Yeah, I cook, and Sir Terry or Arthur gave us a private rooms at the inn in town, so, and I think I
That's
imagine
right.
everything would be covered
Mhm.
for us, right? So, part of the contract we signed.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, as long as I got something to eat, I'm good.
All right, well, if you're interested, meet me in the gardens of this university in the morning, and we can go from there. And try not to tell anybody about the Lumen Spire or this map or, you know.
Anything that's been discussed in this room can stay private.
Because I
between
know
just us.
the Duskreeper Eleanor isn't just working with the Unseelie Court. We don't know who all his allies are, but he has been working with other extraplanar entities apparently. So can't really trust anybody right now.
So, do these missiles, do they usually prevent teleportation and other forms?
Depends on the enchantments put on it, but usually.
Okay. So the teleportation that we might be using would kind of fit under the specifications?
Well, my abilities are permitted inside the weave, or inside this mythal, as are anybody who's in the city currently. People who aren't permitted can't teleport into the city, but I can teleport in or out. Other people can teleport in or out as long as they're not Unseelie Fae.
Oh, okay.
And other beings that I should probably lock out as well now.
We have our patron is actually also outside this missile. I don't know if he is permitted in, but he does have, his entire life. He's still inside the city, and so it would possibly be nice if he could, return home at the very least without disintegrating.
Well, is he a Fae? Is he an Unseelie Fae?
Definitely not, no.
Then he should be fine.
Not that we know of anyway.
And I think the safest place for Sir Arthur and Derry would be with the Auntie.
Yeah, Auntie's fine. Auntie's the best. She keeps everybody safe.
And plus, I think it would do Sir Arthur some good to get some field practice. I don't think being sequestered in a city and sending people out is always going to be making for a good book.
You do have a point, Antyr.
Yes, I read one of their books and it just reeked of not knowing the actual truth.
Heavily embellished, I would
Right.
say.
So, I guess we need to have a conversation as a group, and we'll meet you there if we decide we're gonna do this.
All right. Just one. All right. Yeah. The garden tomorrow morning if you're interested. If not, then you won't show up, I guess. When you're ready to leave, just step outside my office and you'll be outside the university.
One question about it.
Yep.
If we went there and did that, do you know what we might see or come across so that we could be prepared?
Not myself, no, because I don't have that kind of knowledge about the Undercroft, but my contact who you'll be meeting if you do go there can fill you in on everything you need to know.
Alright.
Anything else for anybody?
Not for me.
All right.
Great to meet you.
You as well. Be safe. Am I keeping the map, or are you taking it with you?
Probably safer with you, I'm thinking.
Yes, you hold on to that.
All right. And they tap it against the staff, and the map just disappears.
It is definitely safer with them.
I probably should have just burnt it.
So you all leaving then?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you step out of their office, you kind of just blink, and you're outside of the university.
Are we in the Brightstone Institute? Or
Yeah,
is this something?
that's the
Okay.
university, is the Brightstone Institute.
Cool.
Should we let's go back to our room and have a talk?
Yeah, I mean, while we're near, did you happen to get everything that you wanted from the Curling Tome, Antyr? Since we're on that side of town?
Actually, most of what I got is kind of useless now that I have Cypher Sworn.
Wait, what?
I don't need. I could probably sell it back. I don't really need spell components, materials to copy spells any longer. It works a little differently now, but I'm going to keep them. But I don't think I need to go back.
Isn't that like a main thing that wizards do?
I'm sorry?
Like, have books that you write in?
I have 3 books currently. Oh, yeah, 4 actually.
Wow, yeah, I guess you got everything you need.
Good looking out. I haven't actually thought about that since we returned or got started on this. I'll have to have a chat with Cypher Sworn later. Do y'all need anything from the city? Do we want to stop and get some streetcar food? I know y'all
Well,
favor that thing.
I mean, if you guys remember, the last time that we came, the last time we were here, the thing we were checking up on was the Cathadian mines.
That was being monitored by Hashan, correct?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that something happened there, right?
Is
I don't know.
Cathadium like super powerful or something?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they were assaulting the mines to try to get access to more of it. Also, I meant to inquire, can Pashan like summon a dragon? Weren't they riding on a silver dragon?
The leader of a seemingly very powerful organization. There is no reason not to assume that they can do anything that they want, including either summoning or befriending dragons and the young.
I'll have to make friends because that seems like quite a skill to have.
So, something was brought
Guys,
up. Oh, go ahead, Torger.
Well, I ordered some shovel hands earlier. I could always check on see if those shovel hands is ready, but that's also, there's been like a whole attack on a city in between then. Since the time I puts in my order and the time they said give us a week, so I kinda doubt they got my shovel hands ready.
We're walking. We might as well check for you.
It is technically the day after you place the order on the shovel hands.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they said like a week.
That's
So
wild.
They said a work week, so that's about 4 to 5 days.
Well, that was a very harrowing life event, so you may as well check in, see if there will be any delays.
Speaking of, something was said earlier that made me a little confused. And that was regarding like a tower, and you, Antyr. What was all this talk between you and them about like a tower that you stayed in, or that you were in, or what was going on there? Because I don't think I heard about that before from you.
So when I was 6 years ago, whenever I was pulled into this plane, I appeared within a place that is referred to as Dragon's Beard. I was sheltered, is the best way to put it. I wasn't as friendly as you see now. So I decided to trek on my own. I had acquired some information that a lone tilted tower sat unguarded and untouched. And so I took it upon myself to make it my own.
So you're a squatter.
Well, when someone, when the landlord is not taking care of their place and shows no sign of caring about the place, sure. I didn't have money to... At that time, I didn't have money to pay for much else.
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. Like, what's really does a landlord even do? It's like a job that like shouldn't exist. It like doesn't make any sense. They create nothing and they do nothing.
Agree.
It's a real straight. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I agree. Landlords are dumb.
They're provide housing. They, in fact, restrict housing from others. The stand in the way of housing.
Yeah, it's like no one asks to be born, so like you also can't. You'd die of exposure if you didn't have anywhere to live. So like, it doesn't make any sense why someone's holding back something that, in generally, there's an abundance of.
Auntie Gothel turns landlords into little animals and then cooks them into stew.
I was fortunate enough that Pashan was one of the good ones, I guess. Just allowed the tower to exist in my hands for a bit. Anyway, that tower, and Antyr's gonna pull the dream bauble. That is a tilted, like icy, frigid-looking tower. That's this. My first home here. I actually made it quite homely while I was there. I was trying to figure out a way how I could fix it from being tilted, but there's a certain appeal to your items just kind of rolling one direction. You just kind of have to counterweight everything. But I doubt I'll go back to that tower anytime soon.
So did you just kind of... What did you do there? How long were you there?
For now, like 4 years.
4 years in a tower?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Wait, it was 4 years in a tower is not so bad. It's more 4 years in a crooked tower. Now that's the weird part.
Yeah.
After like the first year or so, it just kind of became normal.
Is that why you got kind of a slight limp?
I do
when
not.
you
I walk with perfect posture, thank you.
Did you ever put your hair out the window?
No. It was too cold.
Did you ever like sing songs to make people come to find you in the woods?
Well, considering it's a desolate, icy wasteland, the woods really wouldn't work.
Okay, sorry. So did you ever sing any tundra tunes to make people come?
That's probably one thing I'm not good at and I've already told you I'm not the biggest fan of music.
I really just want that out of
okay.
context quote. Did you ever sing any tundra tunes to make someone come?
That's merch right there.
Did you, is that why you're so grumpy? Is because you lived alone in a tower? Maybe you need friends like Auntie Gothel. She makes her friends. Could you make your own?
I actually, I had my...
Your familiar does not count, neither does your unseen servant.
What did you do while you were in that tower? What did you do for entertainment?
Honestly, if I'm speaking quite honestly, and this is probably going to make you look at me a lot weirder or a lot
Until look around
differently.
at all of us, we are all weird.
Right. For the first
Yeah, speaks for yourself.
for my first year there, I just sat. I thought I could. How do you explain this? I've tried to going from not aging to suddenly you can. I felt as though I could feel myself in time passing. Anyway, I didn't know what to do, and so for the first year I didn't do anything. After
Wait,
that,
so
I get that.
yes, told you.
No, go ahead.
I discovered that the place was more than met the eye. The fireplace, the comment that I made is because the fireplace actually possesses the ability to let you move from one to the other and then return. So I can go from one fireplace to the other. So I would visit cities, and if I needed food, supplies, appear there, get what I needed, and come back. While I was there one day, I heard an individual discussing this trial hosted by Sir Arthur. Some things happened, and now I'm here.
So you could like go back to your tower at any time, but just going into a fireplace?
No, unfortunately, there is a time limit. I've been away from the fireplace for too long. Anyway, the city's looking lovely right now.
Yeah, probably about this time with the walk and talk. Where are you guys headed?
Yeah.
Are we going to check on the shovel hands? Torger?
We don't have to. Doesn't make sense to like get. So there's like if you's not careful, sometimes there's like a bug that can get stuck in your ear, and if you just you don't want to be that bug to other people.
You have bugs in your ear.
So if you
Are they called
yeah, so like
warlocks?
no, it's like an evil weevil.
I think I understand.
Yeah, so
You do not wish to annoy the blacksmith with constant
Yeah, because it's
pestering
hard to
and
focus
asking.
on something. Yeah, it's hard to work on something when you've got someone just yip 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 yip
Well-
yip 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 yip.
We do have something to discuss in private, so perhaps we should just head to the Crystal Palace Inn and talk about the potential thing off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alright. So with the walk and talk then, it'd be from where you were an hour to get to an hour and a half to get to the inn. The clock tower in the middle of town. It's a cool city. There's a clock tower. Chimes 10 p.m. But
What does it sound like? What does it sound like when it goes ka-tong and there's like 10 of those katongs? Is
I
it
don't
like
know.
a regular ass clock katong, or is it like a magical?
10 p.m. 10
Wisp,
p.m.
wistful.
10
It is
p.m.
now 10 p.m.
You know what? Yeah, it's this posh voice that goes, "It is now 10 p.m."
What time is it?
But you arrive at the Crystal Palace Inn at about 10:30, and it's packed with people drinking and whatnot. You can see Uzalin, the ooze folk, sitting behind the counter. Oh, you're back. What can I do for y'all? You here for your food, beverages, the private rooms that we've given to you, the whatever the fucking the big old room that Arthur paid for?
Yeah, all the
That's-
above.
All right.
Mhm.
Just head on up. The door's enchanted, so only y'all can get in. So you'll know it when you see it. Very top floor. It takes up the entire top 3 floors. So have a good time, I guess.
Would you
Uh,
send up some food and
Yeah, of course.
beverages?
Yeah.
Just an assortment.
Keep an eye on the dumbwaiter then.
Well, that's not very nice to call him dumb.
No, it's a contraption.
The whole
Oh,
contraption, how they send things, like a small little pulley elevator.
oh, interesting. All right.
Don't climb around in them either, because people die in dumbwaiters all the time.
No.
Just from experience. Just a joke.
Previous campaign.
Yeah.
Thursday one.
No.
All right,
This
yeah.
wasn't a fucking lasagna joke.
Find your way to just top 3 floors. It's all you. Arthur must have a lot of money. He must really like y'all.
Loves us. Biggest fans.
Yeah.
We are.
All
He's a
right.
good. He's a good being.
Antyr's gonna slide them a gold piece.
Oh, thank you kindly. And they take it, and it just kind of like gets consumed into their arm, which you can see like coins kind of floating in their arm.
It's the best pocket.
And Leek is just
Your
booking it
ooze
up the
pocket.
stairs. Your ooze pocket? That's not a good name. Um, yeah, Leek is just bounding up the stairs, racing as fast as his little legs can go.
Animated gack.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, so Leek's gone.
Follow suit.
All right.
Okay, so you get to the like top 3 floors, and you're presented with this long corridor, like all the other floors, but this one has a golden door.
All right. Here we go.
Speak your name and enter.
Grin.
Entry permitted.
All right.
And the door doesn't open, but you can see it, Grin. You can kind of see the door get a little transparent.
Put my hand through it.
You can go right through it.
Ooh.
Goes all the way through.
State your name and enter.
Antyr. Oh.
The door appears
Both like.
the door appears transparent to both of you.
Okay.
Speak your name and enter.
Vonkar.
We just all get stuck in the doorway trying to go through.
The door glitches a little bit. And enter.
and enter.
And it becomes transparent to everybody, and everybody can get in. As you step in, the threshold, there's a foyer, and it is a large golden fountain with Pegasus and unicorns carved into the fountain, and they're spitting water up into like multicolored light shows of like fountain water and lights that are coming down into like a larger central basin, which has like taps for fresh, clean water to drink. And then the ground floor has like 8 doors on the bottom floor, stairs that go up to a second floor with 8 more doors, and then up to a third floor with 8 more doors. And then off to the left, you can see a room that says bathhouse. A room off to the right that says dining hall.
What?
Kitchens. And you can guess that the other rooms on the second and third floor are bedrooms. 16 total.
So we basically have our own
Oh.
condo.
Yeah, essentially, at the top of this
Nice.
inn. With a massive central fountain that is just for fresh drinking water with these like Pegasus and what'd I say? Unicorns. And everything's like made of gold. It's just solid gold and nice like textured silks and
Before we have any conversations, I need you guys to make as loud a noise as possible, and I'm gonna go back out the door.
Wow, this place is so beautiful. All the gold and beauty and
Hopper's gonna pull out his bagpipes.
oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Leek is like summoning a flame in his hand.
Yeah.
just
And
hitting the cabinets.
Never
So
have
Grin is
bagpipes
heading-
more useful in D&D.
Okay, so
so
what's
Grin is
what's
heading
Grin do?
out of the door to
Okay.
see if you can hear any of that, since we're like trying to have a
All right, so
secretive.
as you go to fly out the door says, What sound levels are you activating? No. What sound levels are you looking forward to doing today? What is your level of privacy you require?
Or all the privacy?
Noted.
Can I
The
leave?
windows.
Yes.
All right. Then he
Yeah,
leaves,
you can't
and
hear.
then
You
checks.
can't hear anything. Even when you put up like your ear up to the door, can't hear anything.
All right, great.
And then as soon as
Grin.
you go back in, it's just like silence, and then to like this bagpipe and people
Dun,
yelling
dun,
and
dun, dun,
shouting.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh, and then in this room, there's a large central window that overlooks the city to the north, and then the jungle beyond. And it's got like a nice, night view of the jungle just outside of the city.
Is there like a shimmer of green layer at the edge of
Yeah.
the city that we can see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grin will cast minor illusion and be like, "Alright, it works. You can stop."
Okay.
It worked.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you said full privacy, you can see the curtains just magically cover the window.
Interesting. Nice.
How much they charge
And
for this
then-
room?
You start to hear some like nice soft jazz start to play. The lights begin to like dim a little bit. You have sought full privacy. Would you like to use the preset mode that the previous guests used?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
like a
No, no,
casual
no, thank you.
privacy.
No, thank you.
Casual full privacy.
So great. Going off of the first confirmation, the
Oh,
lights
no.
dim even more, and like you can see like fog start to like drift out from the fountain,
Ooh,
and
Oh,
like
nice.
and like rose petals start to materialize in the fountain,
Oh, this is actually kind of nice.
Oh, this is nice.
and then you can just hear like soft moaning.
Is there someone else in here?
No, it is for the ambiance.
Can we remove
cut
the
that part
moany
out.
part? Maybe just
Ugh.
like a nice soft.
Oh, you are not here for
harp.
the orgy.
No. No.
Oh, deleting then, and it just
Well,
goes
you
back.
could just
it
keep
just
the
goes
rose
back-
petal and oh.
It goes back to just a normal room. If at any point you would like to change the ambiance,
We'll let you know.
speak into the fountain.
Excuse me. Excuse-moi.
Yes.
Pop at the fountain.
In regards to the kitchen/dining areas, is there any alcohol pre-stocked, or do we have to order up?
Everything that was in the room previously has been taken. Aside from the nice bath oils, ointments, and shampoos.
We have things coming up the dumb waiter. We'll just
If you're
Keep it-
curious about bathing, because some of you definitely stink, the bathhouse has a variety of nice oils and soaps and shampoos to delight any nose palate.
yes, actually. Group consensus. Can we like get relaxed before we have these conversations?
Yes, of course. Would you like me to put on the relaxing playlist?
No, I wouldn't. Thank you. I think maybe if we have a moment to allow ourselves to decompress, to process, to really absorb the information, then we can come back fully alert and aware, ready to make our decisions. Agreed? Okay, perfect. And Antyr just goes into the bathroom.
Okay, so as you step into the bathroom, you see this bathhouse that is easily the size of a small apartment. It's mostly taken up by a massive, like, 50-foot long pool, essentially, with a shallow end and a deep end. And then on both ends are like 30 or so faucets with different like labels of soaps and oils and shampoos. There's like ferns in the corner, and on the ceiling is a mural of a like this half naked man kind of posing on the bed on the edge of an oasis, with like ferns covering his extremity, his lower half.
Perfect.
Right.
Begins
In my
to
head, it was poo bearing, so it was the look. Anyway,
So Antyr get into the
Antyr's
bath.
Antyr's gonna undress, set their clothes aside, cast prestidigitation to make them nice and clean, like a neutral clean, and is going to spend time gonna have like some really nice oils. Antyr's gonna take time and is gonna like clean underneath her fingernails, go like the full spa day.
Okay. As you get into the bath, one of the faucets kind of animates briefly into like the head of a dragon and just says, "Well, hey there.
Hello.
What scent or bath materials would you like me to dispense?
So modern. All right.
Or
Dispense...
would you like me to do random?
No.
Shame.
Let's honey lavender and temperature just above lukewarm. Thank you.
Noted." And just starts spurting out the requested scents, and the bathwater adjusts to your requested temperature.
It's gonna soak. Hair's coming down, the bun is down, Antyr's just... And Antyr's gonna go like completely weightless in the center and just like...
Mm-hmm.
Because you said it's 50 foot, so yeah, Antyr's just existing in this space.
Alright,
Oh no, we lost Sam.
Sam's back. I got rearrange all my windows. What's everybody else doing while Antyr washes his little bum?
The bun.
alright, now that he's gone, let's actually talk about what we're gonna do. When they're gone, sorry.
Actually, I was wondering if I could perhaps talk with you in private.
For me?
You.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Join me in the kitchen, would you?
Kitchen? Alright.
And I'm gonna set down my shield outside, and my sword, just outside the kitchen door, and head in with, Grin, hopefully following behind.
Would you like your clutter cleaned up?
No, thank you. Just leave it where it is.
Noted.
Hold on 1 second. And then I'm going to climb onto the kitchen counter. Is there like a little knife rack inside the kitchen at all, like a chef's knife?
Yeah, as you climb up under the counter, a voice echoes out, "Please, no children on the counter. Please, no children on the counter."
I am not a child. I am very small,
Judging...
and I cannot reach the knives.
Apologies.
I can get that for you. He just flies over.
It is fine. So, Hopper's gonna just sit next to the knife rack, and just cross his legs and look at Grin. So, back in the town, things happened. Very distressing things.
Which town? We've been to a lot of towns. Or I mean, just these two towns, and they
Before
both
the
went to
carnival.
shit. Yeah.
The town where it went to shit.
Oh,
Before
yeah,
the carnival. You've been traveling with the creep for a while before it happens. Oui?
Yeah.
So did you know that, did you know at all about the creep's former patron? Perhaps
Nope.
current patron now? No?
No.
Not at all?
Nope. I thought we went over this, but yeah, I'll say it again. Yeah, so, supposedly the creep did something real bad, tried to dethrone or do something, replace the ruler of the Nine Hells, and it got caught, it didn't work, and then they tried to punish him, and as punishment, he was bound, as far as I knew, bound, and the entire control, everything that he did, was controlled by me, the owner of the leash. And so,
And that is
at some time, and we kind of figured it out a little bit, that after talking with Antyr and Torger and Vonkar about a bunch of this stuff, we kind of figured out that something happened after when everybody died, when like a couple people touched the lumen spire, and something happened then, and then Antyr said that the creep was talking in their head, and Antyr didn't tell me, so I didn't know anything was happening. I didn't know anything was amiss. Now I'm still like, I'm being charitable toward Antyr because I don't think that they like meant to keep that from me. At least I'd like to think they didn't do it on purpose. But I mean, if I would have known that, then I would have known that something had changed and that the creep was able to do things on their own. And then, warning signs would have gone off.
And that is everything you know?
I mean, like, no, I know a lot of other stuff, but that seems like all the stuff that matters regarding what you're asking about. Who's doing them knives?
Hopper's just been tossing one of the fillet knives in his hand while talking to Grin.
Okay.
Grin, come here. Touch my hand. And he holds his hand out.
Alright.
Heart sense.
Seething anger. Partly at Grin, but mostly at the creep and their circumstances. But just, if the fires of the nine hells were an emotion, Hopper is feeling it.
Well, you've been keeping that boiling underneath for a while, haven't you?
I've been keeping a lot of things fairly deep down. And I just want you to know. If you ever get between me and the safety of my family, which all of this concerns the safety of my family and my own, if you ever keep something like that could worsen the current events, even just a smidge worse.
Does your family include all rabbits?
Hopper throws the knife right next to it. I will kill you.
Ah!
Not just here. I will hunt you down in the Feywild, and I will end it.
Yeah, well,
Do you understand?
yeah, well, I mean, I understand, but you don't have to go flexing on me because I'm small. I mean, I can take care of myself now.
Small creatures can do very devastating things.
That's
and he
right.
hops down off the counter and leaves.
And guess what? Tiny ones can too.
And he takes out his sword and then just smacks the cupboards as hard as he can.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
The cupboards are undamaged. Just tunk.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they not real?
You hit them and there's a sound and everything.
Are they
They're
not
probably
objects?
magical.
There's a sound and everything.
Okay.
And then it explodes.
Just delayed reaction. 10-minute explosion.
You have destroyed one of the cupboards in the kitchen. You must now Repair the damage you have done. By saying you are sorry.
Just he just stares down Hopper. Says, "I'm sorry."
One of his ears like twitches back to Grin. It like acknowledging it, but he doesn't say anything as he continues out. And then he just picks up his sword and shield and goes to find his assigned room, I guess.
There's no assigned rooms. Just take whichever one pleases you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is anybody... Antyr's washing. Grin's breaking cupboards. Hopper's throwing knives at people. And
Just
wandering
Grin.
about. Doe, Vonkar, Torger doing anything in the private room before y'all get together to speak?
For the sake of my internet, I'm just gonna say Vonkar's laying down and relaxing.
Okay, percentile dice to see if you die from old age. No. Okay. Torger, you doing anything?
I was gonna ask Vonkar stuff, but if he's worried about internet,
I keep vanishing.
fair enough.
We can
Just,
certainly try.
I'm just gonna do calisthenics and clapping push-ups then.
Okay, cool. What about you, Doe?
Doe's in the room, kind of pacing around, just talking to some staff, just like, "This is a bad idea. This is not a good idea. If Dad finds out about this, this is..." And they're just going back and forth, and they're just talking to themselves and the staff.
We could just kill Dad.
I'm gonna say something
I won't tell
that I
anyone.
heard at the tavern. You shut your whore mouth. Mom would kill me if she heard me say that, but you don't know. He brought you into this world to me. He'll take you out. And I gave you a body. I thought you'd be more happy and upbeat.
No, there's someone else in the body, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Do you want me to take you off of them?
I feel like I'm stuck.
Doe's just trying to...
It doesn't come off.
I'll figure it out. We got this, but nah. This just seems like a bad idea breaking in there.
It's also a bad idea just waiting around for bad stuff to happen, too.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. But you see what I'm wearing?
Clothes.
Yeah.
And Doe's just rubbing their temples with one tongue and one hand as they carry the staff in their other hand, just walking around the room, just pacing.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna go to break, and then when we come back, y'all are gonna have a conversation, apparently. Oh, and Antyr, Leek is throwing things in the bathwater for fun. It's like while you're
That's fine.
floating, you just hear occasionally bloosh. Bloosh. Yeah, we're gonna go to break. Back in 10 minutes to pick up from there. So we'll see you all briefly in a few. right. So, broken cabinets, knives thrown at people, people bathing, getting stuff thrown at them in the bath, old man sleeping, Duergar push-ups, Doe pacing, where I think, yeah. At some point, you hear the speaker of the room, the weird disembodied voice say, "Your food has arrived. Please gather it in the kitchen or dining room. It'll be presented to you in the dining room."
Hopper just grabs a bottle of wine for himself.
There is no alcohol in the house because it was all taken by the previous people. All that was left behind was shampoo, oils, and ointments.
They didn't send any drinks up with dinner?
We'll get to it.
I wanted to just grab it from the dumbwaiter.
Dumbwaiter's in the dining room.
Alright. Yeah, I was gonna go to the dining room and grab a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Let's go, Hopper. Get food.
So the dining room is this large golden table carved to look like lions roaring, and as you open the dumbwaiter, there's like a fizzle, and all of the food and alcohol and drinks are teleported a couple feet away onto the dining table, all laid out in dishes and ready to be served.
Wow.
Doe's gonna knock on Vonkar's door as they pass.
I'm awake.
Leek is just gonna keep throwing stuff at Antyr, being like, "They're saying dinner's ready."
Alright, okay, I'm coming. Leek, you could have taken a bath as well.
I don't need a bath.
Do you shed?
Yeah, look.
Oh.
They pull off a big, like, skin flake. See?
Oh, keep that. Here, keep that.
They throw it at you.
Ugh. Gonna go over to some of their supplies and open a vial and slip it in and put
now
it
you
next
can
to
grow
the
your
Rat
own.
King. What's that? Oh. Starts
Isn't that how it works?
slowly dressing.
Oh yeah, Leek's completely nude while he's throwing stuff at you. Just total kid lack of awareness. Alright.
Let's go. Put on at least a tunic here. Prestidigitate.
Put on my clothes.
I'm gonna prestidigitate and clean them up.
Alright. Alright, see you in there. As you slip on your boots, there's like a squish in one of your boots.
What is that? Pulls the boot off.
Someone just put a bunch of like soap and shampoo in the bottom of your boot.
Leek, was this you?
Nope. And Leek runs off to the dining room.
Prestidigitate, and then I follow suit.
Does everybody eventually convene into the dining room? Alright, yeah, so it's a table of whatever food you can think of. No cup. We'll say more cupcakes, just for fun. There's cupcakes as well, if you want more cupcakes. It's only been a few hours since you had cupcakes. But yeah, there's all sorts of food.
God.
There's like roast turkeys and chickens and sausages and eggs and bacon and vegetables and any alcohol you can think of. There's gin, wine, beer, whiskey, malort.
Epson's Malort
Uh,
in his fantasy land.
absinthe, all sorts. And then there's like milk and juices and water and...
Hopper snatched the bottle of whiskey.
Alright.
Grin snatched the tiny bottle of absinthe.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to a place where they says it's like you have like the City of Wind handshake, where you get some of this malort, and you get like a really old beer, and then you got to have a little bit of that and the old beer, and it's like you're shaking hands.
There's like...
Do they have any moonlit Chardonnay? I remember Antyr got
Oh,
that
yeah.
one point.
Yeah, they
okay,
do.
Perfect.
There's also like various milks from various animals.
Walrus milk?
Walrus milk, giraffe milk, horse milk, pig milk, cow milk.
The tallest milk.
Just serve it a really
giraffe's
long.
milk
They
is in a
s- they
really
serve-
long,
they-
skinny decanter.
They serve it in a highball glass. think that's what it's called. Yeah. There's just anything you can think of. Doe is ravenously eating cheesecake. Only cheesecake.
Fair.
Antyr's gonna take Cybersworn out.
Ah, yes. Is it time to be fed?
It's dinner time. Alright, so just so you know, I figured out a way to do this. So when we eat, you'll eat.
Perfect.
There may be some days. No, this should work. All right. And Antyr is going to, in their old spell book, so they've copied over
Yeah.
all their spells into their current enduring spell book.
Yeah.
So in their old spell book, they're going to tear off one of the pages
Mm-hmm.
that has the formula for like one of their
Mm-hmm.
base level. Actually, we'll start off with cantrips because that's the thing now. The cantrip formula
Mm-hmm.
page is going to just like like a like almost like inserting it into a shredder.
Yeah.
The sheet of paper.
Just noisily snacks on that piece of paper.
It's gonna begin eating.
Leek is like taking out some of his grubs and like cutting them up and then sprinkling them on his food.
Okay. While we eat, I guess we can discuss. We have options now. We could go back to Arthur and regroup with him and Derry to try to figure out what the next steps will be for that side. Maybe potentially going for that sword. Or we can leave Sir Arthur with the Anty safe and sound. And we can go off on our own looking for this sword for you, Hopper. Or really our third option is to take this Pashan up on their offer and aligning ourselves with the Leyline Guardians to prevent something that now I think we're all kind of really bound to in some way.
Yeah, I don't feel like joining a thing just to be a flunky. I kind of want us to keep doing our own thing.
Question. Did I get any idea of where that pool might be?
No.
No.
Just the bottom of the lake.
Did it look like a Feywild lake or a material plane lake?
Just looked like a lake.
Okay.
But the sword was made of stained glass, so that's kind of...
Mm-hmm. Well, since we do not know where this sword may be, we may as well kill some time. Join a new organization or whatever. Seems like we just keep digging ourselves deeper and deeper by accident. So we may as well play along. See what the fates of this world have in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, this thing that they mentioned, this heist. Did I not hear it, or did they say what we were going there for? I forget.
To uncover more information about the Leyline Convergence.
So we just kind of be wandering around.
Apparently it's tied to somewhere in the Undercroft. There's information.
All right.
I feel like,
and we have a way back, because it seems like we're just kind of being put into, like, a grave with no way of getting back.
we have the Luminera to fly us back.
What's that?
The Luminera. The
Oh,
dragonfly.
yeah, that thing. I meant like we'd be underground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing is a bit big to...
Oh, you're talking about from getting out from underground.
Yeah. I mean, since what we're doing wouldn't be legal, or at least it seems like it's not legal where we're going to be noodling around. It just seems like we'd be taking like a big risk for, you know, a reason we don't even know. I mean, it's just we don't have any information, and we'd be putting ourselves in a really risky spot.
I mean, maybe that's something we can address tomorrow. I mean,
Like,
Bashan,
that's what we're talking right now, is to address it now amongst the group and see how everyone else feels about it. Like, because
I meant the lack of information from Bashan is not surprising. They're not going to tell us everything. Obviously, I feel like they're going to uncover more information if we decide to do it. Because if we don't decide to do it, then what? Then why would us have having the knowledge benefit them?
yeah, that's a good point. I guess I don't know. It doesn't seem.
We could always tell them no if they don't have more information and you don't feel comfortable tomorrow. We can at least entertain the idea, and if you don't like it, then we can say no. We're not going to abandon anyone else. Like, at this point, I'm closely bound to each of you for your own reasons, and I'm not just gonna go do something without the group. We have a name, so.
Hopper, what do you think?
Well, if you are asking my opinion, we may as well give some time. It's been 6 years since this all started happening. We have a little bit more time. Why not? It's not like any of us have lives we are itching to get back to that may be destroyed at any possible moment. If we, make one fucked up decision or keep one stupid secret.
Have you ever done a heist before?
No, but I have prevented many.
What, the heist that you prevented, what was that they did that let you catch them? Like, were they wearing armor that made noise?
Mostly traps that they did not see.
So the traps
Magical
did the
and
work, or they made sound?
Mostly the traps, but sound does not help in a covert operation. It also does not help when the guards signal themselves with very loud armor.
Doe's gonna say, yeah, I don't want to do it.
What was that?
I don't want to do it. We don't know anything, and yeah.
This person, they seem very powerful, yet we have just met them. Maybe perhaps we say thank you for the offer, but maybe another time. We are still getting acquainted with each other, still learning about each other. Maybe once we become more cohesive as a group, we can accept that generous offer.
Yeah.
But for now, I drink.
How about you, Vonkar?
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of just along for the ride on a lot of these things. I'm happy to help, but I don't have too much of a horse in any of these races, so I feel bad, making too many decisions on behalf of anybody who's got so much skin in the game.
are doing like a heist where we need to sneak around and stuff, would you be willing to take your armor off?
Oh, certainly, yeah. It comes off real quick, actually. I suppose Vonkar's still wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just gonna like snap his fingers, and it just like swoop, flies off of him and just clatters to the floor in a pile.
Yeah.
It's cast off armor, so you can
That's
just like
amazing.
remove it as an action.
Nice.
But also, like, I'm not comfortable doing a heist in a place that's apparently a powerful magical school, and we don't have any information about the heist other than when you get there, you'll know more about it. Because they themselves said they didn't know anything about the school's undercroft area or securities or any defenses that it had, and they said we would know more once we met their associate at the school. So, yeah, I'm not really down to leave it up to sort of chance.
How about you, Torger?
You guys see Torger like jump up between a door jamb and do one pull up, and then the hand that he has in the middle of his chest starts doing like just tiny pull ups.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Fucking
Yeah.
finger strength.
Just practice, you know,
Jesus.
just doing like just getting between each finger, building up the muscles in the hand in the middle. Yeah, I don't think so. I trust Doe's nose.
Thank you,
And
Torger.
if Doe says that it smells funky, well, there's nothing to be casual about.
Yeah. Let's secure our namesake.
Well, maybe we could even just offer looking at investigating a ley line convergence for them that's closer to our location instead of going on the other side of the world to look at one.
Yeah. I mean, we got means of traveling.
Plus, I need to stretch my legs, go for a walk. You know, we have nice jungles around here, but we haven't really given them much look. And I'm supposed to be exploring and writing things down and learning things, and I'm not learning things if we're teleporting everywhere or flying around everywhere.
Yeah, but we goes to touch one thing, and then we gets puts into another world, and then we goes to touch another thing, and it sets everything on fire, and then we goes to try and go to a carnival, and some guy steals our shit, and then we gets to go to finally to the carnival. Oh boy.
Alright. You know, we've had a bad string over the last couple of days, guys. But I feel like all of you you know, we all know it, you know, nobody's being you know, duped here. We all know that this has been a string of bad luck for us. We have a lead, and that is this sword related to taking out that guy. It's you know, that stained glass sword, right? Yeah? Points at Hopper. You want big stained glass sword?
Why are you talking to me like I am a child?
No, I mean, here. Goes out the map. If you were a stained glass sword, where on this map would you be? Let's have a look.
It was the bottom of a lake,
Okay, so a lake.
and there are lots of lakes in this continent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but-
closest,
Rock.
the closest of which is Lake Shadowmere, where you were in the jungle of spores. That's that lake. Then you have the Marrow Deeps, Cathalok, Lake Asgwern, Tenlock, Woodfeus Lock.
The swords could be anywhere. It could be
Yeah.
on any continent or
Nah,
on
no.
any plane.
No, we know it's in a lake, not like the ocean.
But it could still be on any continent, not just here.
As just finger pushes are happening. Yes, but you should check the ley lines. There's any that intersects on a lake?
We'd have to get the map because that's with Bashan now.
Yeah.
Wait, so we didn't take it back?
No,
Hey, do any of you
Boy, I
guys
got to
remember
say
from
stuff.
looking at it?
no one would have the memory of all the convergence points. It's the
I mean,
entire
like,
world.
No one has.
Oh,
has keen mind?
but not even not the immediate area. There's
Probably not.
cafeteria?
It was a lot of ley lines and a lot of convergence points.
Yeah,
And no
there
one
was
has-
like hundreds
And
of
no,
even
yeah,
lines.
thousands and thousands, and no one has keen mind as a feat. If you had someone had keen mind, then yes.
Sorry.
Gotta have the moments where you need the feat and don't have it, so that having the feat matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. What if we? What? Yeah, that could be a way that we can, impose the question. Maybe instead of us going to infiltrate this highly magical place, we mark a few, or we get a few on each of our minds. We remember a convergence that's close to us. Each of us have a different one in memory, just in our minds. We don't mark it down. And we go and we go to each of those. And maybe the sword is connected to a converging line. There has to be a reason why Hopper was given that vision. It, all ley lines lead to wherever.
Very astute of you, Antyr.
Thank you.
Alright. So we got this map. What are we thinking then? We want to head in a direction? To start traveling? Start looking
Well-
around? Maybe even document some stuff for good old Mr. Woodweave?
We could get the ley line convergence map back from Bashan and go from there.
Yeah. We need to have, like, what do you call it? Whoever has the map, whoever's carrying it, needs to have like, in their mind that if anything, like if we come across any of those dickheads with the armor, we burn them up. So that they don't get it.
I'm working on a spell. I've discovered a spell that works a bit similarly, kind of, sort of, like Pashan's, the way that they made it poof, vanish. But I think it's limited. I haven't fully read into the spell yet because I didn't think I would ever use it, but this seems like a time that I would use it. I think it's called Wrist Pocket.
Yep.
Anyway, I can essentially, the basis of the spell, and Antyr's gonna flip through Osha's book
Mm-hmm.
to the page where Wrist Pocket is.
Mm-hmm.
I can remove something to a different plane as long as I'm holding on to it, and it'll stay out of sight, out of mind while there. Can't be touched. So if I hold on to it, I can do that. If anything were to happen, I can keep that, maintain that, and even if we are, even if they search my body, they won't find it on my person.
Well, that sounds real nice.
I just have to study the spell and get it ready.
Alright. Well, how does everyone feel about this? Do we want to still show up at the
Or we need to get the map.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say.
Yeah, that's
So
how we
need
get
to
the.
go to the Veiled Gardens, get the map, and be like, hey, psych! We're just gonna grab the map and head out on our own little adventure.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're smart enough to have remembered most of these locations of some of these ley lines, or prominent ones.
I mean, they're really powerful. I imagine they can just duplicate it or something.
Probably yes.
Or at least make their own hard copy, provided they have the time.
Is there a D&D equivalent of a duplication witch?
Most likely.
I mean, if anybody has detect thoughts or what's it called? The Ogden Boone had it where you could like take a thought and then just kind of encode
Decode
thoughts.
thought,
Yeah.
Encode thought, and that was
Yeah.
kind of how I just ended up flavoring it. When
Yeah.
you mix it. It's when you mix it with
Yeah.
detect thoughts and encode thoughts.
Yeah.
That's when it turns
Yeah.
into that thing.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
But you have to have the spell slots and things for it.
So yeah, we could we get the map from Pachan and go from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Doe scoops up like more cheesecakes. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And they walk towards their bedroom with like 13 cheesecakes.
Whole cheesecakes or slices of cheesecake?
Oh, full cheesecakes.
Oh,
All right,
God.
respectable. I
That's
respect that.
heavy.
Doe's wish was
what's
Doe's
their
wish was
encumbrance?
I don't know. Doe's you don't know. Doe's wish was unlimited cheesecakes.
Training for the next cupcake competition, I see.
Yes. I'll make sure you choke next time, old man.
Amazing.
All right, see y'all in the morning then. And Leek's gonna run off and try to find a room to go sleep in, because there's 16 of them.
All right.
It's like a full party in modded Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Antyr's gonna spend 2 hours gonna find a space in their room, and it's gonna start recording Wrist Pocket
Okay.
into Cypher Sworn via the Sacrifice Life.
All right. So as you're doing it, you can feel like your vitality, like
2d4, right?
yeah, you don't need ink,
Right.
and it just starts to like seep out of your finger onto the page. You just gotta trace it with your finger, basically.
I only took 3 damage for those
Okay.
2 spells.
And it also seems this is also a way for him to eat.
A midnight stack. And
Appreciate it.
begins to record Wrist Pocket.
As you do that, though, you do feel like kind of like a chill on your spine. Now we're a little closer, Antyr. You share with me, I share with you.
There is more where that came from. Oh,
Any-
it's a ritual spell.
Yeah, and it's a D4 hit points that you lose.
I took 2d4.
Oh, so you did 2
I took-
spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a d4 per level, and it's
Oh,
a second
correct.
level
That's
spell.
right. Yep.
So I rolled 2d4 and I took 1 and 2,
Alright,
so
cool.
only 3.
Yeah, Cyphersworn seems very happy about that. And you can see some of the wear and tear on the cover and stuff kind of mends itself a little bit.
So that's 2 hours. I only need 4 hours of trance.
Correct.
Fuck, I might as well just do some more, right?
Just bleeding yourself on this book.
We got time.
Okay.
I'll do a couple more. Because what time is it now? That would be midnight.
Be midnight, yeah.
Feels like the group is gonna. What time did Pashan say to meet them?
Just in the morning.
Morning time. Okay.
They didn't specify like a concrete time.
Antyr's gonna do 2 more
Okay.
spells. They're gonna be. I think they're gonna be second level. Yeah. Gonna do 2 more spells.
This is the
at
perfect
second
time to do it,
level.
right before you go to sleep.
Yeah. Right before trance. So
We just
what
bleed
can
on
we
this.
do?
Let me bleed on my book and go to sleep.
Fortune's
Just
favor?
eat a bunch of cookies and stuff.
And then just bleed on my book.
No, I'll do. Shit.
Isn't that what they give you? Like after
Yeah,
You
they give you
donate
they give you like
plasma,
they give you like
a
sugar. Yeah, sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta find these spells.
Cookies and orange.
They also tell you not to drink either, because that's like after the fact. Because you get
Which
really
is
you
fair.
get really fucked up.
Ate that mistake.
Yeah, because you have less blood
Yeah,
to create a higher BAC.
that's why you just inject more blood while you're there.
That's not.
That's not how that works. I mean, okay,
That's not
I'll
the
do.
point.
Fine. You just drink more blood and you'll be fine.
Could you, man, imagine going to donate blood and there's just a dude there drinking it? Hey, this is how you do, right?
Asterion, where did you come from?
Oh, Astarion's my boy. But
I'll
yeah,
do
so Antyr,
Arcane
you're
Lock and
just Arcane Lock, Disintegrate,
Fortune's Favor.
Fortune's Favor. Cool. Anybody else doing any nighttime routines before they go sleepy sleep times?
It's 4d4.
Hopper will drink himself to sleep.
Perfect. We're gonna
Oh,
see if you
really?
wake up with a hangover,
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Can I,
which will be the poison condition.
deferring to a fellow player, are you feeling your internet connection tonight, Sam, or should I save questions for next
We're
time?
better. We're better, I think.
Okay.
I think we're better. You're on.
Then Torture would like to maybe ask a couple questions of Vonkar if he's got them.
Mm-hmm.
If that's cool.
Yeah. Like
Are you,
after
are you
he like picks up his full plate mail and is like carrying it back to his room.
Oh, hey, wait. I want to ask you a couple questions.
Oh yeah.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
He, like, waves him over and tries to get him to. Would you like to have a seat?
Sure. You mind if I put my plate mail back in my bedroom?
Oh yeah, you can put your plate mail back in your bedroom. Do you want me to get something ready? I could probably get some more cupcakes ready. If you want some cupcakes.
Oh no, I'm good. Dinner was fine. I'm good. Thank you though.
Okay.
Yep. Put that down and come back. What's up?
Just kind of smashing some thick walrus milk together. I want to ask you a couple things. It
Yeah.
seems like, why did you shave your beard?
Oh, well,
Because I
You know, it was-
asked, I was told that's your beard's like one of the most important things you ever gets. It's a gift that, wraps around your body, that helps fill you up. It's like the very roots of the tree that holds the whole world together.
well, it was a long time ago, and I was very young, and I had just, from what I remember, I had come to the surface relatively recently, and I saw a lot of, I got made lot of new friends. I was getting to know the culture of the surface world, and I saw other people doing it. So I guess I just kind of got caught up in peer pressure, really.
Yeah, it's weird when people tells you all sorts of things, like they insist that your clothes don't match, but when you looks down, all you see is gray, and then they says things to you like, "Oh, grass is always greener on the other side," and you say, "What's green?" Yeah, I gets it. It's weird on the surface.
Maybe it is, yeah.
So that brings me conveniently to part 2 of my questions.
Mm-hmm.
Why you so obtuse when someone asks you where you's from?
Yeah, well, because the answer's a little embarrassing, honestly.
Wait. Do you got a secret too?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a secret. Kind of is, I guess.
Who's got secrets? Sure.
Hopper's ears perk up from the next room over.
I don't remember.
Wait, you don't remember?
I do not remember.
Did you ever go to a city where there was like a bunch of like spider people and they made you fight because they said that's how you make friends with people who's not from your village, but then you realize maybe later that they weren't probably being totally truthful with you, but you found out you was really good at stuff, so you just kept going?
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
Okay, that's probably not a universal experience then. Okay.
Yeah, no, that sounds like that might just be a you thing.
That might just be a me thing. Oh, also, you've got to decide what tattoo I get because you beat me in a competition.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll think about that afterwards.
Yeah, no, that's certainly no pressures from me. Yous take whatever time you need. After hearing about how yous gets all sorts of pressure, I don't want to do that, and I also don't want you to feel like you've got to push your memories into any sort of place.
Oh, I don't know. That's the thing. I'd love to push them there. I just it's I'm trying, but
Yeah, because yous kind of looks like me, and if you put a mustache on young you from the Hall of Mirrors, you kind of look like that guy we just ran into. I swear.
yeah. I mean, I know vaguely where I'm from. I'm aware of the world, but the specifics are kind of, yeah.
I swear that guy, he looks like Sven's kid. Looks exactly. Marlon?
He also didn't have
Okay.
a beard.
Yeah, no, it's very strange. People's coming out here with all sorts of deciding not to have beards and stuff.
Yeah, we get to the
I'm
surface
trying.
and go native, I guess.
No, I'm trying hard to just to grow my beard, but it does not want to come.
Oh, it'll get there eventually. Don't worry.
Just a tiny little hand reaching up, trying to stroke the beard, but there's nothing there for the small hand to grab.
This is my strong hand.
No.
Okay, well. Alright, that's... do you have anything you want to ask me? I feel like I did not mean to put you onto hot coals.
No, it's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Well, if you needs any help remembering, because we don't look not alike.
Yeah. So, it's just, yeah, I had some stuff happen that, it makes remembering kind of hard, but, I'm here now. That's the important part, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I hear what you're saying, but it sounds like you're sad, kind of, as you say it. Like, oh yeah, I'd like to have, a working arm, but this guy over there broke it, so now I just got broken arms. That's what it sounds like when you say that. It sounds like, I'd like to not always taste, squished up bugs in my mouth. But, that's all you got.
Well, it's not that. It's more like I used to have a broken arm, and there was a while where I did have a broken arm, but now my arm's not broken anymore. So I'm just like, hey, I'm glad to have an arm.
Yeah. But you still can't do push-ups the same way.
Well,
Who's gonna
but,
get you mind push-ups? We're gonna get your mind push-ups back.
Trust me, my mind is fine. It's better now. The mind was really never the issue, but it's a long story. I won't bore you with it.
Okay.
We don't need to get into that.
We certainly don't got to right now. Seems like I've suddenly turned the heat up on pressure, and I'm sorry. That's not what I was wanting.
You're young, curiosity's part of your nature. It happens. You're in a brand new surface world. It's your job to look around and learn everything new, right?
Yeah, I got another sentence for today. You don't got to pressure to make friends. All right.
True.
Well, I gotta do about got about 120 more finger curls to do with this new weak hand. I got to get it up to shape.
What is it? Admirable work ethic you've got there.
Yeah, I just don't want to get caught with a real dink hand in the center of my chest. I don't like it, but I'd rather not. If it's got to be there, if anyone's going to try anything, I'm going to make sure that these knuckles could crack walnuts.
Sounds like a good plan. My knuckles kind of look like walnuts.
Oh God!
He's got the like definitely the big like knobby knuckles on his hand.
Oh yeah. When you shake hands at Del Boca Vista Social Club. All right, well, keep on trucking.
Oh, you too.
Anybody else got any solo nighttime routines? Doe's eating cheesecake, Leek's passed out wherever he is. Antyr's in their room doing book stuff. Hopper's drunk and passed out drunk. Anything?
So
for
to
Grin?
be clear, sorry, Justin. To be clear, this is our second night since the start of the campaign. Like our second sleeping time.
This will be third.
Okay, third.
4 days together, third sleep. Like once you sleep, it'll be your fourth day together.
Okay, thank you. All right, cool. Sorry, I just needed a little bit of more context just
Yep.
to like. Gee whiz. Yeah. Grin is going to take the sword off his back and just
Mhm.
kind of within like the context of being back in the material plane and everything, just kind of focus in on that
Mm-hmm.
and try to understand a bit more as to what has happened to him since
Okay.
his
Yeah.
like transposition,
Yeah.
is that the right word? His transposition and then back.
Yeah. I said it was
And-
45 years for some reason last session, but it was only 45 days. So
Okay.
less of a headache that way.
Yeah. So he's gonna try to recontextualize everything,
Okay.
and that's what he's gonna spend his time doing.
Alrighty. Antyr, since you trance, do you set up wake up call? Because the voice in the room's like comes to you because you're the only one technically.
Everybody else is sleeping.
You're just like sitting. Hello.
Oh.
Apologies. This is my quiet voice because you asked for the private mood. Would you like to set a wake up call for tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do.
It is currently 1 a.m.
Okay. I've got a spell to do. Let's do 8 a.m.
Sounds
wake-up
good.
Call.
What
could you-
animal would you like to waken with?
Ooh.
What ambiance would you like to wake up to?
I don't know. Random.
Perfect.
Could you play like a light, soft, gentle, like harp?
Unfortunately, random has already been selected.
Oh, I meant like right now to just help me trance.
Oh, course. So in your room, only that you can hear, because all the rooms, since private mood is on, all the rooms are also soundproof right now too. So yeah, you just have like this gentle harp, this angelic harp music playing in your chamber.
Are there windows?
Yeah,
in the
every room's
bedrooms?
got windows.
Okay.
And then
Andrew's
the
gonna
voice will be
push
like,
the bed.
"Oh, okay."
so that Antyr is meditating and looking out over the city.
Yes, you're seeing it over the city, the nighttime city. Lights are still on. You can see people down below, just like roaming the streets, drunk, and then the jungle, and then the green
Dome.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Would you like to look out on a different landscape?
You have Dragon's Beard.
Of course. Where would you like?
Glacial Pass, if you know what that is.
One
Imagine
moment. Loading.
Floating.
Loading.
A floating glacier just looking out into the cold waters.
The window kind of fizzles a little bit, and you're looking out over a vast glacier, and then the ocean beyond.
Can you turn the window at a slight 5-degree angle? Perfect. And Antyr's gonna set the little tower there and meditate on.
Okay.
Yep.
And you said 7 a.m., 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah.
8 a.m.? In the morning, you're all woken up, long rests, to the sound of
Ariel.
monkeys. Just violent, screaming monkeys.
Hopper shoots up in bed and then recoils from probably the massive hangover that he has.
Oh yeah, Constitution saving throw. We'll see if you're poisoned today. This wake-up call was chosen by Antyr. You may choose tomorrow's when you go to sleep.
6.
Oh, you're hungover.
Hold on,
so
let me double check that. Yeah, 6.
yeah, you're poisoned today. Hungover.
Great.
But yeah, everyone gets a long rest. You're all woken up by the sound of screaming monkeys, courtesy of Antyr.
Shut off that goddamn rocket!
What's happening? What's going on? Are we being attacked?
Morning. Sorry, it's my fault.
This wake-up call was brought to you by Antyr. You may choose
Yes, I picked
tomorrow's
random.
tomorrow evening. Or this evening.
Someone else can pick.
Ah!
Well, it's kind of fitting with our naming convention. It's 8, so we have enough time for breakfast, and we can get ourselves situated and go meet
Little-
Deshaun to get our map.
Yeah, build gardens, right?
Yes.
Alright, let's go!
Breakfast has been served in a portable meal for today. You seemed busy last night with your discussions. I was not listening in, definitely not. So food has been made that is on the go. You have breakfast pies, eggs on sticks, mini pancakes, mini waffles, coffee.
I'll take eggs on sticks.
It's just like fried eggs that have been skewered.
Yeah.
The yolks are just like
Grin'll take like essentially the kebab of
Yeah.
of eggs and just go, "Wow." And then there's
Very
you guys
cartoony.
just see 3 eggs visible in his torso.
Leek is just pounding back coffee for breakfast.
It's gonna get
Hopper's
some
joining
coffee.
him.
I got a bottle of coffee that never runs out, but you know.
Oh.
Yeah, the peeps had a shoe that filled with wine at dawn. You guys didn't get to see it very often. Because,
Could
you know,
we
we only
perhaps
hung out for
not-
like a day.
Could we perhaps not discuss the creep?
Yeah. Fuck that guy. He's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your morning refresher, and then like a nice like cool breeze runs through the suite and kind of like wakes everybody up a little bit.
Antyr's gonna give Hopper back the Sinning Stone. Yeah, because Vonkar has one.
Vonkar has one and you have one, yeah.
Yeah, Antyr's gonna give it back to Hopper.
Surprise, Vonkar, you have a sending stone.
Oh, good to know.
That was back whenever I think we were traveling around the
and
city or something.
Yeah, Sam wasn't here for that, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Surprise!
Oh, Vonkar, are you good with tools?
Tools? Well, let me think. Well, you know, I can read and make some maps. I can do a little bit of smithing, and yeah, I can drive a wagon or two. Proficiency with cartographer's tools, smith's tools, and land vehicles.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's someone else. I need gold dust. Would that be potentially? No. Okay.
I'm proficient in brewer supplies, cook's utensils, and an herbalism kit.
What would get acquiring gold dust? What
Probably
would
like a jeweler's kit, I'd say.
Jewelers. Okay.
I was gonna say, like, if I don't have smithing tools, but like if I just had a metal file, could I just take a gold
Oh
coin
yeah,
and just like
definitely.
file it? But I don't
Hopper
have
does have
smithing. Oh, do you?
Hopper does have Smith's tools, yeah.
Oh,
So like,
oh, yeah. You probably just got a metal file in there. We just take some gold coins and just rub them right on there, just put into a pouch. It's like grating cheese.
Could I request that you do that for me? I don't really have the arm strength for it.
Sure. How much you
Thank
need?
you. A lot.
Oh,
Just
all right.
how many gold coins does he have to like scrape his fingers across the grinder for?
I will say, scraping the gold coins will make them
Yeah, just grind back.
unusable tender.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm assuming that in order to like, because I'm guessing it's a specific
It's a
value.
cost
I'm assuming
component,
I'm assuming I have to grind them fully
Yeah,
to dust,
yeah,
like
yeah.
every coin,
Yeah.
until I just have a bag of gold dust.
We'll just, maybe it'll be something you could do for me, sometime. I need 25 gold pieces worth of
Oh,
gold
that's not
dust.
too bad. Yeah. Whenever we have downtime, I can just work on that.
He'll give you a 25 gold pieces for the first installment.
Guys,
Mm-hmm.
do we know what direction we're heading once we get our map back? And
We'll figure out the closest ley line convergence and try there. We want to go for the sword, right?
I think that's what we discussed, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll find one of the closest convergence at maybe over one of the lakes. We will probably need to go check Shadowmere again,
But
or
not-
Shadow.
I mean, like, we definitely don't expect to find it like right out the gate, but it'll be nice to just get our legs moving.
It's possible we could, though, which would be really funny.
That would be wild.
I don't feel
That
good.
would be, yeah, that would. I mean, that'd be like fate, and I don't know how I feel about
how
that
many
right now.
cheesecakes did you eat last night?
13.
You ate all 13 of them?
Yep.
Hopper's struggling to keep down his own breakfast.
Dope, like, belches and a
Big.
little bit of cheesecake comes flying out.
Alright, let's go Antyr, you got it? Alright, let's go meet them in the Vale Gardens.
Does anybody else got another metal file? I was hoping I could maybe get some more wrist strength with this extra hand in the
A
middle
what
of my
fi-
chest.
What'd you say? A what file?
A metal file?
A metal file. Who's got one of them?
Metal file?
I only have the one, but I do have a set of Tinker's tools, so I might have another in here. Let me check.
Tinker's Tools, probably.
Probably. Okay. Yeah, I'll pull out a metal file for Torger.
Thieves' Tools as well would have one, and Doe's like, oh, I have Thieves' Tools, and I have a... Wait, actually, do they have Thieves' Tools on their person? No. They're just proficient.
I have Smith's tools, Thieves' tools, and Tinker's tools.
Yeah, so you'd have 3 metal files.
All the tools.
Nice.
Perks of being an artificer.
Alright,
So cool.
so...
Off we go
To the Veiled Gardens.
to the Veiled Gardens.
Okay. That's close. That's going to be like a 25-minute walk.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, it's just directly south. So, it's a quick
You
walk.
guys
Funky.
also thinking about maybe we could go to the maybe go to the potion shop and just do a grab bag potion again.
Oh, I do need to go to Curiouser. So yes, that would be.
We don't have to. We could do that after we have a quick chat.
There was
Break
so
some-
much time we're having the session.
Yeah, so we could do that after. Break some hearts, and then go and do business. But yeah,
Okay.
no pressure.
Quick walk gets you to the Veiled Gardens. It's a massive outdoor garden with various trees. And you can find Guardian Pashan looking at this very dead-looking ash tree that's just covered in gouges and burns and cuts. Well, you made it. Early as well. Good to know. So, what do you say?
We're gonna respectfully decline that venture,
That's fine.
but with the caveat that we would be inclined to investigate other ley lines
Oh, alright.
throughout. We have a means of traveling quickly to a degree, not as quickly as you can.
Well,
We
I would
will-
recommend you not use your flying vehicle for some time because it isn't that conspicuous.
That's true.
Or it's very conspicuous, and Duskreeper Eleanor knows it's yours, right?
Valid.
Maybe
Alright,
just keep
we'll-
a low profile for now.
We'll do that then. We will need access to the map, so we were wondering if we can.
Oh yeah, of course.
Get that.
I made a copy anyway. And they tap the staff and it pops out the blood ruined parchment one. Here you go.
Catch it. Take it. Thank you. We can keep in touch. I'll keep a record of what we uncover at the different convergence points that we.
Sounds good. I
visit.
would appreciate contact at least, like a up to date
Mhm.
contact if possible. I'm not trying to be your patron or anything. I'm just asking to
Oh,
work together.
This
all.
is your thing. Yes.
All right. Good luck then. And they put their hand on the tree and a doorway opens and they just step through and then the doorway closes.
We could have done that. All right.
And like through the other side, you see them stepping out into the office of this gnome with like kind of blue hair and like lavender colored robes and turquoise robes. And on the back wall is a massive glass case of mutilated butterflies like that have just been put on display.
Pins.
Yeah, but like not nicely. And then the doorway closes.
Like wings torn,
oh
bodies
yeah, like
crooked.
no care in it whatsoever. And then the doorway closes.
All right. Vonkar, I feel you should hold on to this for now.
All right, for sure.
I'll do the. I renamed it to something more personal. The Astral Cache. I'll do that if we ever go into something that seems a little more risky. So you could just pass it to me, and I can have that ready.
Do we want to look at like any nearby convergence points first and then go run quick errands, I guess, for some of you?
Yeah, while we're walking through what? Curious and Curiouser? Let's have a look at the map and see what we got.
Alright. Whereabouts you looking? What region? It's the entire world.
The closest, I guess the closest convergence in the Cavatuine Empire that isn't the Jungle of Spores.
Are you looking for specifically for something that may be in a body of water?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. There are 4.
Excellent.
You have the Marrow Deeps.
Deeps, Marrow Deeps, where's
There's
that?
for the entire continent. There's 4 convergence points in bodies of water. The Marrow Deeps
Yeah, I was just-
is northeast of the City of Embers, a little bit. It's the body of water that's basically to the east of the City
right
of
there.
Embers.
Yeah, got it.
Then there is Winterlock, which is in the Rhymecross region in the lower right. Drowned Maiden Reef in the Emberfall Wildlands, so the west. In the
Drowned
Huna
Maiden
Jungle in the center of the west region. So Winterlock, the Marrow Deeps, Drowned Maiden Reef. And then the final sort of body of water-based convergence point is Lake Deep Bottom in the northeast regions of the Silt Valley. Lake Deep Bottom.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so the closest appears to be Marrow Deep. Marrow Deeps.
So perhaps I don't know if any of you magical types have the ability, but perhaps when we're going to the Curious and Curiouser and Perchance Potions, maybe we look for, something that will allow us to breathe underwater?
That might be a good idea.
Smart.
I can breathe underwater. I'm amphibious.
Oh, that's great. That's actually really helpful.
And I
You're
think
really, Leek, you're the best, You
I
got
know.
all these
Yeah,
really
I know.
cool things going on with you.
I know. I can turn into swimming stuff now too.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yep. I know.
So that'll be one that we don't have to worry about paying
But like
for.
I
if it
can't
costs
no.
anything.
I can't
Oh.
breathe forever. I'm amphibious. I'm not fish.
That makes sense.
But then you could transform into a swimming thing.
Yeah, I
right?
can hold my breath for up to 15 minutes.
And at the end of the 15, you could turn into something that can be underwater.
I can do it whenever I want though, Antyr.
I don't know your metrics.
Yeah, yeah, you don't. I can turn into a fish right now if I wanted to.
Prove it.
Okay.
I've got.
And they wild shape into a little like sea bass. And they start like flopping around on the street.
Oh.
Then they
Oh,
drop it. Yeah, see?
The bass.
I can do it any time I want.
wow.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we can. So should we buy you something that
Well, of
allows
course.
water breathing? Okay, we'll do that then.
Just to be
what
safe.
was it? I heard three: the Winterlock, the Drowned Maiden Reef, the Marrow Deep. What was that other one? Was it the
Lake Deep Bottom.
Lake Deep Bottom? Thank you, Antyr.
I'm working my way up to a feat.
I saw Auntie Dotho looking deeply at Vonkar's bottom.
Yeah, well,
Dad number 3.
That's the plan.
well, we'll see.
That's the
Still
plan.
young, Vonkar.
That's why I'm here.
That's why. Wait, really?
No.
Matchmaking league.
All right.
I just want to do a pit stop into Curious and Curiouses. We don't have to go there for that much long. We could just very quickly. I have some things to give. Maybe make a small trade and then in and out.
Oh yeah, we can see if that is the actual the fish mermaid thing is there still.
And we could acquire it. Yes, we will do that then. All right, we have a
Okay.
plan.
So we're into a quick little montage then. So you head to Curious and Curiouser
Mm-hmm.
first. All right, that's gonna be a. That's gonna be a. That's gonna be a. All right. Half an hour. That's like an hour walk from the Veiled Gardens. Okie dokie. But like I said, montage. So you get to the Curious and Curious, and you can see inside. You can see the proprietor is currently in the process of dusting a newly acquired artifact. It is a human head that has been, the lips have been cut off, and it's just permanent smile, and he's just dusting it. Oh, welcome. Familiar faces.
Ooh, the sorrow.
Yes, the
That's all right.
sorrow, that's what they call me. This humanoid just wearing like a suit, like a Victorian suit, bald head, sunken eye sockets. Yes.
Couple things. Do you have
Oh.
the... Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Torger.
No, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got the same question.
No, you go ahead. What's your question?
Quit with the funny stuff. Give us the monkey that looks like this. And then it pulls up his shirt.
Oh,
and shows
you're
the-
interested
the
in the
tattoo.
monkey mermaid.
Aerolith?
No.
Funky?
the funky.
Mithrin?
No.
Gives us the funky.
This is not a Mithrin, little boy. This is something else entirely.
Which one of us is the little boy?
Point gestures to Antyr. I can
Ooh.
see ages and time. Of course, you want the mermaid. And they walk up to the glass case and they touch it, and the case briefly dissolves to nothingness, and they pull this disgusting looking, like, horrified, like, half rotted, like, red howler monkey whose lower half is just a big, like, fish. This is what you were inquiring about, correct?
Yeah, that's the guy.
What is your purpose with it? It's
He
not
wants
for
to-
anything. Looks around unsavory. I don't judge people's preferences. People come
No,
in
it's
here.
going to be our mascot. now.
Oh,
Is-
mascot.
Is
Yeah,
the
also-
is the funky wearing like the clamshell?
Oh, of course
bra,
not.
Or okay,
It's a
I'm
Howler
just wondering.
No, it's the upper half of a dead howler monkey that's been sewn to a massive fishtail,
Yeah. Okay.
but not wearing any mermaid clothes. It's just it's a sideshow mermaid
Yeah.
that you'd see in a
Gotcha.
sideshow.
Oh, no, nothing untoward. We just wanted his mascot.
Perfect. 500 gold.
Okay, before we finalize that, I have some things for you.
Well, it's magical.
Oh. Well, here, let me show you these. And Antyr's going to pull out the Rat King parts.
Okay.
So I got some of these for you. Also, some fresh lizard skin.
You can all see what's clearly Leek's skin.
Yeah.
Oh, and because it is magical, I feel you could make use of this. You would have fun with this. You would enjoy it. Antyr's gonna pull out the vial of black sap.
Okay. Now these are interesting. 250 gold.
If we divide this up, each will pay 50 gold? No. 250 divided by 6 of us? So if we each pay 42 gold pieces, we can get it.
You see Leek already handing over a coin purse full of 250 gold.
Oh,
I want a new friend.
perfect.
And hands you all the mermaid.
Mermaid or mermaid.
Underwater friend, you are my underwater friend.
Be like, hands it to Antyr, because Antyr's the one kind of managing the transaction. And as you touch it, it's like cold and wet to the touch.
Antyr tries not to cringe. It is our mascot. We show it respect.
You have to give it a name now that it's in your possession.
Oh, yeah, it's the
Immediately.
Fonkey.
Immediately.
We'll just call it the Fonkey. F-O-K-E-Y. Funky.
Alright.
Drop the
F-O-N-K-E-Y.
Fonkey.
Thank you. The Funky. Funky.
Right. Just hands it to you, and as soon as you name it, the coldness and the dampness go away.
You said it's magical?
Oh, of course it is.
You know what? I want to uncover it myself. Thank you.
Feel free.
The sorrow.
I was going to suggest the name Senator Billiam X Cunningham, but the Funky's fine.
What's a senator?
I
Someone
don't know.
that's-
I heard someone say it once, and I thought it sounded real smart.
I like how like a quite number of things that Torger has like absorbed are complete opposites, and it's so wonderful.
So quality. Alright. We'll go to Pashans now, please.
Okay.
What about the name Barbie, Queen of Prom? No? Okay. Funky it is.
What is a Barbie? Is it short for something like Barbara or?
Yeah, I think it's short for the name Barbara, yeah.
Right.
Alright, so before we get to this potion shop, we're looking for like water breathing stuff, maybe water swimming stuff, so that we can move nice and fast through the water. You know, stuff like that. We need, especially since we know that this thing is underwater, we need to make sure that we have stuff prepared for that.
We could also give it a true mermaid name like Splash Mantha.
George, I
Wait.
need to pay attention to where we're going. We're going to the potion
Sorry.
shop for you.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll ask. I'll focus up. But also, Splash Mantha still wants to put it in the just a possibility.
That'll be a nickname. How about that? People have, you know, Funky is my surname, but or my true name, but Smash Mantha? What did you say?
Smash Mantha? No, this is a creature of the water. I said Splash Mantha.
Getting to
So
that
you
time.
arrive at the potion shop.
Also, I humbly submit, Lil Drippy. So you said something about the potion?
So you arrive at the potion shop about a couple minutes later, because it's right next door, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, inside you can see Biro Pishan, in the process of brewing some potions. Hi there, everybody. What can I do you for today? I am Biro Pishan, proprietor of Pishan's Potions here in the City of Embers.
We
I
need.
was.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
I'm stepping back.
We need water breathing potions.
Kind of. Yes, of course. Water breathing
Please
potions.
and thank yous.
Thank you. How many would you like?
We need at least, what, 3 for each of us? Since we got 3 locations at least that we need to check out. 4? Yeah, that's right.
And there's
4.
8 of
So-
you that I can. There's 7 of you that I can see.
Yeah.
So you're going to need 21 total potions of water breathing.
Yeah. We might have to decrease it, just based on need and come back later, but
Why don't we start with like purchase.
Well, let's see how many they have. And how
Oh,
much
I
it
have
costs.
quite a load. Most people don't buy potions of water breathing because people don't usually go swimming that deep for that long. So I sort of just have them. So you want 21 roughly. It's a consumable item, so the price would be halved. Each potion is 250 gold. It's the going price for an uncommon rarity potion. So you'd be looking at a total of 5,250 gold for 21 potions of water breathing.
All right. Well, hold on. It seems like you have kind of a surplus here, and you've already said that they are not flying off the shelves. So give it just a little bit of a discount for us?
Well, I don't really give discounts to customers I don't know personally.
Well, we've met before.
Have we?
You know our names.
Oh, must have forgotten.
Well, hang on. How long do they last again?
1 hour.
All right, we got 3 locations. Why don't we get? We probably need. Yeah, they're not going to run over. 21 is probably how many we're gonna need.
There.
But I mean, if we end up finding, if we find what we're looking for on the first one, then we don't need the other 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can always just head back. Risk pulling out the dragonfly to
I will say
zoom back here.
I do not take back any purchased potions.
No, we're just saying that.
Yes, we probably don't want to have to. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, you go.
I was just going to say we probably don't want to have to try to return 14 potions or resell them. So, buying them one go at a time might be a good idea.
All right, sounds good to me.
So how much is 7?
7 potions of water breathing would run you 1,750 gold.
But how about
Super
that?
doable.
How about that discount? Since we all know that you've got
Persuasion
like
check.
500 of those.
Persuasion
things.
check.
All right.
You're going -1 to persuasion.
Damn it. No, I have a +6, and I rolled a 3.
Unfortunately, we don't have much of a repertoire, so 1,750 gold pieces.
Could I trade you these 2 potions?
No.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
don't take trades? All right.
Right.
No, I like gold.
Yeah, I'll give you a gold now, but I also want you to know that I'm one that they call the Bloody Punch.
I'm sorry to hear that. That must be painful.
For others.
Well,
Okay.
hey now, let's not be threatening this nice shopkeeper
Oh
here.
no! Oh
What?
God! I misconstrued. No, not you! Not you! I'm saying. It's weird, and I don't know how to say this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
So
So
it's,
big of a deal.
so it's
how much was
1,700. It's 1,750 gold.
All right, how much money do we owe? Can we afford this? Can we just pay for this?
I have no gold at all.
All right,
Where
so
did
you're
your
out.
gold go?
I have
Who had your gold?
832 after buying the
The
monkey.
creep has all my damn gold.
Doe has. I have 1,050.
I have 184.
All right, so
I
And
got
you
1,289.
Grin, you owes me 250 gold. I'll pay for Grin's.
I could pay for partial of mine.
So
I
I'm
will
gonna-
help you finish paying yours. Antyr, how much do you need?
Well, I'd rather not be without total gold, so I'll put 100 in.
Okay, so 100.
Okay, and then I'm
So
putting
I will-
in 500.
Okay.
So that's 600 total.
I'm gonna put in
Yeah.
350 to
Okay.
cover mine and Antyr's.
We're sitting at 800 gold remaining. Leek's a kid. He doesn't need it. Leek's gonna put in 800 gold.
I haven't paid yet.
You need your money just in case something happens to you. You gotta leave something
What is
behind
that supposed
for
to
your
be?
family.
All right, they're fine.
You could die any day
They
now.
were supporting me. If anything, I should actually probably be sending money back to them.
That's what I mean.
Well, all right. Well, no, I should. Let me. 400 and 400.
Deal.
All right.
All right. Everybody can add a potion of water breathing to their equipment.
Awesome.
Also, if you've still got, do you still got that grab bag potions?
You see, it was a good idea at the time, but I realized I was losing out on a lot of money doing it.
Right, I hear what you're saying, but it sounds different than what's I wanted to try.
Oh, it just increased the price. It's 100 gold to go now.
Alright, I'm going to get 3 potions, please.
Okay. And just add potions to everybody's character sheet. Doe didn't even spend any money. Sick.
I added mine already.
Okay.
And I can do this. I can add them later or whatever.
Alright. Let's have fun then.
If you insist.
But...
Roll me for your random potions that you're getting. Your 300 gold worth of potions.
mm-hmm.
Roll me a D100.
Okay, so D100. First one is 12.
This is a potion of superior healing. So 8d4 plus 8 hit points when you drink it. It's a big one, big spicy one.
Okay, and then
For the second one,
It'd be really funny if these were just like potions he forgot to label. So it's just like, you get it. You don't know what it does, but you get it, and you find out when you drink it.
that's funnier. I like that,
Oh, what?
but I'm not. That's hard to
13.
keep track.
Yeah.
This is a potion of superior healing again. Those cost quite a lot, so you're getting a deal if they're only 100 gold a pop.
That's good stuff.
Final one. You got 2 potions of superior healing out of this grab bag.
33.
33.
Potion of Pippin.
Nope. It's a red potion with a tiny bead in it. This is a potion of diminution. When you drink this potion, you gain the reduce effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours. So a potion of diminution, and then 2 superior healing potions.
Very interesting. Okay, cool.
You could become the size of Grin.
No, what I could do is I could ride in Grin's pocket.
Enlarge reduce effects don't stack, so you can't get extra small.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, spell
I see
spell
what
effects
It
don't
becomes
stack.
tiny.
Because it is the same spell.
It is.
The same spell.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you've got your ability and then a spell, but
Correct.
the ability specifically states the spell.
Correct.
So yeah,
You can't.
Vonkar gets away with it because it's 2 completely separate abilities.
Correct.
yeah.
So you can't stack.
And one is actually
You
one
can't.
makes him large, the other one
Yeah.
makes him up.
So you can't.
by
You
one.
can't stack the
I
same
getcha.
effects. That's why you can't. Yeah. Anything else for anybody? Wonderful. Thank you for your business.
Thank you. Alright, guys, let's go. How are we gonna get there? What are we gonna do? We're going to the Mirror Deeps? That's a really big lake.
It is also the closest one, or we could also go to the
But it's the biggest. Like, they're not that. How are we gonna like go through that whole thing in an hour? We're just gonna waste these potions.
we could start faster and get closer to the city. Perhaps start in the Rhyme Cross or the Silt Valley.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, that,
Yeah, but it's also we could start where the ley lines, where these guts to cross each other. Because when you cross each other, it's the centers of the X that's where treasures goes, not like all around.
Valid.
oh yeah, that's true. So we wouldn't have to check the whole lake. We just have to check the spot where the ley lines connect.
At least that's where we could start.
Yeah, that's where we can start. Yeah. Because I was to say, I mean, like the sword that may not be on the ley line, but I mean, we might as well check since that's what we got out of this. You know, that's what we got. Yeah, all right. So
We
if we
could
look
like
at the
we could set up shop at the Tanbrook town. So we have a place to return to.
And if you look at the map, the crossing of the convergence points is in the heart of the Marrow Deep.
okay.
That's yeah, Tanbrook is pretty close.
Well, it seems like a good
Yeah, the
plan.
closest settlement would be Colsade.
All right, let's head.
I
Let's
think.
head
Let me
on the
check.
north road. Then.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Tanbrook or Colsade are the same distance to the heart, roughly.
All right, yeah, let's just head on the north road.
Right.
Okay. Antyr, what are you doing with this big old mermaid that you got? Dude said it was magical.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Identify on it.
Okay, so as you guys are like
Or
walking,
Discern.
it's going up through the northern gates of the city. On your way, as you get to that point, you start casting Discern on the monkey. You pass through the gates. This mermaid only becomes awakened when named. Once per day, it can cast water breathing on up to 8 creatures it can see. When the spell comes
That's
into
good though.
When the spell comes into effect, the targets grow gills in an excruciating manner. As a bonus
Oh.
action, you can spend half your current hit points and awaken the mermaid, and it uses the stats of a marrow for 1 hour before becoming inert again. You cannot use this feature again until after a long rest.
Does the water breathing that this gives only last an hour as well?
Water breathing lasts for 24 hours, the spell.
Oh,
What's
but
the full
the
spell?
potion doesn't.
No, potion's in an hour, the spell is 24 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Specifically, this version of the spell is up to 8 creatures, but the actual spell is 10. This one is just a reduced count.
Before we leave town, can we actually check our old inn room to see if Cornelius is still in there?
Let's pick up your donkey.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a good idea. Let's pick up Cornelius.
Okay, so you detour, and yeah, Cornelius is in there. Hey, where you guys go?
Hey, there you are. We had a whole thing. Do you mind, actually, should we get a cart? Should we get a wagon or some kind or something?
That would be nice.
You have
but-
one in your inventory.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You have one
cart attached.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I don't just have Cornelius by
Correct.
himself. All right, Cornelius, we're gonna hook you back up to the cart if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
All right,
Should
north
we
road.
Should we let Monsieur Woodweave know what we are doing? Should we stop by Antigosol on our way north?
Nope.
Nah, we'll just give him a little
We're
present.
still stuck in the Feywild.
Yeah. Well, no, he's
Also, that's Andy. Mama's house is really out of the way for where we're going right now.
Right? Let Monsieur Woodweave enjoy his daring adventures.
Yeah, plus we'll send him a little surprise of a story as we, dive into the depths of the Mirror Deeps. Right, right. That sounds like a good novel,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
All right. So you've identified the Fonkey. I'll add it to your character sheet. It has water breathing. But you've bought potions for backup. And and you begin to leave the City of Embers through the north exit, passing through the Mythal, which causes this weird tingling static electricity feeling. Your hair stands up if you have it. And you pass through the Mythal unharmed, except for nothing. Everybody's fine. And you pass down the northern road in the direction of Godbringer's Ravine. Because that's the way. That's your next destination. You're gonna pass through Godbringer's Ravine, a familiar location for Torger and Doe. And that's where we're gonna decision for the week. On the road.
All right.
On the road again.
On the road
We'll pick up
again.
there next week
It's
with
gonna be on the road again.
travel, possibly Godbringer's Ravine, which is a fun little place to pass through. Good night, everybody. Oh, before we go, because you all successfully returned from the Feywild, you learned some more things. It's been a few, but you've learned some more things. You have a direction now, a plan, purpose. Antyr, only a D6 for a level up.
Yay!
Oh.
Unless you're multi-classing.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, that sucks.
Does.
All right.
Rolling so well before.
Grin,
All right.
you know,
I believe
pick
I
one and
will
go.
be rolling a D10.
If that's what you're going for. D10. And reroll ones if you get a 1.
Yay!
9.
A 9.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Hopper, artificer or fighter?
I'm going Artificer.
So it's a
for
D6?
That sweet subclass. It's a D8.
D8, right. Wizards and sorcerers are the only D6s.
Yeah.
I don't know what Grin is right now, but
That's an
Grin's
8.
also one of the. Hey,
Nice.
8 out of 8.
Vonkar.
I was gonna say if Grin is also a fighter, it'd be really funny if we have 3 fighters.
Yeah, multi-class, into fighter.
All right, D10 for fighters, right? Yeah.
Yep. Barbarians are the only
And-
D12.
Oh, 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right.
Luckily, he's got an 18 con.
Torger,
so
D8.
plus 7.
Frustrated because I can't find my physical dice. I only have to roll physical dice for health, but here we go.
Second level spells.
Boo!
2.
2.
All right. Leek. Roll that on the table. 3.
That's real.
But yeah,
Feel
level
it.
up. Everyone's
Real
level.
rough.
Everyone's level 5. Get yourself situated. Well, some of you are level 5. Some of you aren't technically. But hey, get your shit sorted. Next week, you're on the road for our
Woo,
first
road
sort
again.
of travel for this campaign. We're finally out of the first sort of little mini investigation. Now you're on doing your own thing. So